Hey everybody, this is Hachiman, aka Martin Parece. Welcome back. This is Rule of Robots Act 1, a cinematic scenario that I wrote for Free League's Alien RPG. Fantastic RPG game system. I've got a cast of 7 players. We had a little technical difficulty, which I've edited out, and one player didn't have voice, but that's okay. This was a great Act 1 game session. I really hope you guys enjoy it. You can find this scenario on my website at martinparece.com/alienrpg. I will put that link in the comments here below the video. On YouTube, I hope you will like and subscribe for more Alien RPG and just in general gamer content that I hope to bring. And please, while you're on my website, don't hesitate to snoop around and take a look at some of my other stuff, especially my fiction works. It would mean a lot. And thank you so much. Build a computer in a heartbeat, but when it comes to software, I hate software. It's just not my thing.
Yeah.
All right.
Computers are basically just adult Legos.
Yeah, that's it.
You failed your Comtech roll.
I did fail my Comtech roll. I had a panic. It was a 6. I was holding it together, but only barely. All right. So, did you guys even hear my my once through on Roanoke Station?
No.
We started to hear it, and then everything kind of went sideways.
Perfect.
I heard it.
I think we left off with you saying that Roanoke at the time looked like a good strategic position for the station, but after that you dropped off.
Yeah. So I'm going to. I'm just going to start over, and for YouTube, we'll go back and edit all this bullshit out.
All good.
So the Seegson Systems conglomerate founded Roanoke about 5 years ago. It was meant as a refueling and jumping off point for exploration around the frontier, specifically on the UA frontier. It was originally established as basically a skeleton station that would be easily upgraded in a modular capacity over time. Unfortunately, the UA and the UPP are always on this constant threat of war, and with 3WE trying to expand territorially, UA just never expanded into this sector of space, so Roanoke has gone mostly ignored. Most of the original human staff is gone, leaving just a handful of people. The station manager is one of the original. His name is Sven Olafsson. There's a bartender at the cantina. Christian Clark runs the Seegson store. Perry Benoit the general store. And then we've got our player characters, who we can start with Heath Hobbs on the left.
Right. Everybody hear me okay?
Yeah.
Yes.
Right. So Heath Hobbs. I'm a marshal. I've been a marshal for a number of years. My good buddy Jones. He and I graduated school together. I'm here just to make sure everything stays within the law's boundaries.
All right. And Grace?
My name is Grace. I am a ambitious corporate liaison. I'm kind of looking for my big break. I've been sent to this station instead. I'm certain it's going to work out well and great and all, but I'm happy to see where things go and prove myself to the company.
And Grace specifically works for Hyperdyne, which is, of course, Seegson's direct competition. And that brings us to Klaus Wagner, or Klaus Wagner, depending on how you want to pronounce it.
I'm Klaus Wagner. And I work for Seegson Systems Company, and I am the rapier. I believe that the company is doing good for humanity, and we will make great changes together.
I like it. Mike Jones, tell us a little bit about you.
Sorry, I had to unmute myself.
No problem.
But yeah, no, just like good old Marshall Hobbs here had stated, we both grew up together and graduated school together. Also in the I'm also in the marshal service, and yeah, just working on Roanoke Station, trying to make sure everything's just going good.
Very good. And Andy, tell us about you.
So I'm Jake Robertson. I'm a roughneck. I've worked on this and a bunch of other Frontier worlds. Hard worker. Working on Roanoke because the money's good, and I'm angling for an early retirement. Generally have a high level of respect for people who put in a tough day, and a little less so for people who maybe sit behind a desk or don't pull their weight.
Great. Cole?
Yep. My name's Roberto Jimenez. I have been with Siegzim for a number of years as soon as I got out of pilot school, and I immediately got transferred out to the station, and I have been here for most of my life, despite it being the most boring shit I've ever had to endure. So, yeah.
Awesome. And Crom, tell us about Dr. Willa Tomansky. Oh, there he goes, yeah. Perfect. Alright, so a quick note about last session. Alien RPG has these things called story points, which most of you probably are aware of on some level. A story point follows the player, not the character, and it is earned based on playing to your character's motivations and agenda, basically. I've seen some different interpretations of this. I'm a firm believer that as long as your character makes a genuine attempt at completing said agenda, that counts as a story point. And with a little bit of gray area on that. So, Irvin, you were with us last time as Bishop 1.3, and you were a great sport as Bishop, having had half your body dissolved by acid right away, and being able to do very little for half the game session. But everything you did was in the spirit of your character's agenda, okay? To protect company property and personnel at the loss of your own functionality if need be. So you have a story point. You can mark that on your character sheet.
Sweet.
Bob, you played Dr. Jane Wallen, and your agenda was to collect all the information that Wayland Yutani was experimenting on and deliver it to LaSalle. And while in the end, through epic, unfortunate gameplay that was perfect for a horror movie because the dice had its own story it wanted to tell, regardless of that, you absolutely endeavored to do it 100% all the way. So you also have a story point. And then, Jim, you were shoot, what was the name of, Francisco Walker.
Yeah, that's right.
Now, technically, you really didn't make it to your agenda because things went sideways fast. However, in tune with the character, with your character's motivations in terms of this being, hopefully his last mission, hoping to retire, you decided it was time to hightail it out, and you gave perfect reasons as to why. And the net effect is that everything you did, while it wasn't necessarily pushing your agenda, it was in the spirit of the character, and therefore you've got a story point as well. So, story points, of course, can be used for basically an automatic success. If you just don't want to roll because you've got 7 stress and you're convinced you're going to panic all to hell, then use your story point. That's what it's there for. And I even allow use of story points for a guaranteed success in the instance of if you want to roll still, you can use your story point for a success and then still make a roll for additional successes if that's what you're wanting to do. Rule of Robots is a 3-act scenario, so there will be 3 different agendas for each character with 3 opportunities to earn story points. So, and again, they follow the player, not the character. So if you get together and play with me in the future, you'll have those available to you. So,
Awesome.
you guys should have in your handouts, you should all be able to see the 5 levels of Roanoke Station. Is that correct?
Yes.
Yes.
Perfect.
Correct.
Perfect. We will keep those handy so that I don't necessarily have to drag everyone all around the maps all the time. Just a quick overview. The station's well known by all your characters, so that's why you have the maps. Now, these maps, of course, that's the main promenade map's got a big... Interesting. Okay, it's got a big magnifying glass in the middle of it. Not sure what happened there. These are the main deck maps. They are not... they don't show everything. There's obviously ventilation shafts and that type of thing, right? The main promenade level is exactly what it sounds like. You've got a large open area in the middle, which includes luggage conveyor belts. You've got... shoot, I'm sorry. Pardon me 1 second. My PDF just went haywire on me. There we go. It's basically the general reception area for crews and visitors. Of course, it's virtually deserted and vacant most of the time because Roanoke basically gets almost no visitors. There are several large observation decks with giant viewports looking out into space so you can see all the ships that aren't there. You've got multiple "You Are Here" maps, around the walls. And there's, of course, like a large information/customer service desk, which, again, it's almost all completely empty. You've got a pair of elevators here that go all the way through the station, top to bottom. The Seegson Company store is here, which sells a wide variety of Seegson technology, as well as general technology needs, as well as probably some Weyland-Yutani knockoffs of different things. And... you've got the general store, which has all your basic goods that you may want to buy. The cantina, which is exactly what it sounds like. A great place where you can go get some bad liquor, some worse beer, or, bug juice if that's your thing. So one of the hallways, the large hallway leading to the north leads to the ship slips and docks. The hallway leading to the south is incomplete. It never got finished because the station didn't have to expand that way. Klaus Wagner, you have your office in the Seegson store, just so you are aware. Roanoke Station Level 1, which is immediately above the main promenade level, is a substantially smaller level. It contains the marshal's office with holding cells, as well as medical, which is Tomansky's domain, with her office and quarters attached. And then the very top level of Roanoke Station is upper level 2, which the elevators open up into a hallway that gives access to command, comms, and admin. Admin's usually where you find the station manager, NPC Sven Olafson. Then, looking downward, we've got Roanoke Station Sublevel 1, which contains the human living quarters, which is pretty much the only human there is Jake Robertson, who bunks in there. Everybody else kind of has their own spot.
Hi, guys.
You've got Working Joe Storage and Maintenance, which is, there's about 12 Joes on the station, and half of them are there at any given time. And then the office space and quarters that Hyperdyne leased from Seegson for Grace McCafferty is down on that sublevel. And then last but not least, you got Sublevel 2, which contains Environmental Control, Power Distribution Control, and Apollo. And then all the security doors are marked on the station. Security doors can be accessed by either Marshall, Klaus Wagner, and of course the station manager. Apollo is Seegson's AI computer system. Mother is made by Weyland-Yutani. Apollo is Seegson's answer to that. No problem at all.
Did you say that there was a marshal's office? I think I might have missed that.
It is. The marshal's office is on upper level 1.
Got it.
And that's probably where we will start. Unless Mike Jones and Heath Hobbs have anything else they would rather do, I foresee them sitting in the marshal's office, probably bored, with maybe a movie on a screen in the background, and my bet is they're probably sitting there playing cards.
Yeah, let's see. Andy D is I got it. Okay, Irvin, you're Mike Jones. Andy D. Which character are you?
I am Jake Robertson.
Okay, so you're Jake Robertson.
Yeah, I'm not sure how to change my my name.
Real quick, go to settings and
Display name. There we go.
yep, there you go.
Yep, Mike. If you agree with this, we'll start out just playing cards and hanging back in the marshal's office, waiting for something, which is usually nothing to happen.
Which is usually nothing to happen. All right.
Everything's just too quiet on this station.
Yep, that's what this game's going to be. 4 hours of being quiet. Nothing going on.
Good background noise, though.
Hopefully not.
Right.
All right. Grace McCaffrey. Oh, go ahead. Go ahead.
Can I just do an admin note? I was texting Crom, and he's going to try to use the Roll20 audio instead of Discord, so he has audio. Obviously, we're all using Discord, but that might work, actually.
That would be fun.
Actually, yeah.
That would be
Crom, you want to try an audio test through Roll20? Okay, Crom is not responding. Give me a second. Let me try calling him.
Okay.
He's typing now.
Do we have personal agendas yet?
Not yet. You will hear very shortly. It doesn't work now that Discord's up.
Oh, I see. But we're only using Discord, so not really for typing except for Crom. So if Crom quits that, he should be able to use the voice over Roll20, correct?
I would think so.
But then he wouldn't be able to hear us if he leaves Roll20. If he leaves Discord.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
All
yeah,
right,
because...
yeah.
Okay, never mind.
Yeah, we'll just leave it as is then.
Darn.
No
All
problem.
right, never mind.
It was definitely a good thought.
Oh, yeah. No doubt.
Sure. Dang.
Let's see here. That's a possibility. That's actually a really good possibility, using the Discord app on the phone. I'll let Crom look into that. Grace, I imagine you're probably down in your office. What are you up to?
I am just going over the most recent transmission from Hyperdyne. Checking email. Boring.
All right. Perfect. Let's see here. Klaus Wagner. What are you up to, Klaus?
Klaus is just sitting in his office looking at the numbers and trying to figure out how to best optimize net profit.
Perfect. Just a Discord. Go, yeah. Go figure. All right, Mr. Jake Robertson. Are you on duty or are you off duty?
I'm not sure. If I am down in my living quarters, I'm probably off duty.
All right.
If I'm waiting on a shift, then I'm probably getting ready to go. If I am coming off a shift, then I'm probably getting cleaned up and thinking about the cantina.
Gotcha. I'll let you decide. What are you thinking? Which way are you headed?
Let's say I'm getting off of work, so I probably just grabbed a shower. I'm lamenting the Joes next door because I don't like them, and I'm thinking about heading to the bar.
All right, perfect. And Dr. Willa Tomansky, reading Pride and Prejudice, otherwise doing the monthly EMS inventory. All right, perfect. Perfect. I need to pull up I need 3 screens all of a sudden. I never thought I'd see the day where I needed 3 screens. You would think 136-inch and 132 is enough, but no, now I need 3. It's terrible, isn't it? So, everybody's all about the station doing their normal thing. The intercom comes to life, and Sven Olafsson, who has an accent, he's obviously Scandinavian, probably Swedish, and I'm not going to do his accent. pages across for you hear his voice come across and echoes through the station. Marshal Jones, Deputy Hobbs, Dr. Tomansky, Pilot Jimenez, Mr. Robertson, and Mr. Wagner all come to admin immediately, please.
On the way.
All right.
Ah,
So,
sounds like a little bit of excitement.
yep, something's going to admin. Perfect. So everyone now, as far as Grace, what are you up to?
So I just hear a call for everyone to go to admin,
Everyone but you. Every live human on the station except for you,
including that bastard Wagner.
including that bastard Wagner.
I'm going to go just peek. Just make sure it's nothing important that doesn't concern all the corporate members on this ship, even Hyperdyne. The station, I'm sorry.
Absolutely. So it is very safe to assume that you are going to run into Jake Robertson right at the elevators, right at the lifts, because he's coming out of human quarters and down that hallway. So you guys encounter each other right there.
Who am I running into?
Grace McCafferty, the Hyperdyne company rep.
Okay. Jake will probably give a curt nod, but doesn't have too much of a relationship with Grace.
I just kind of smile at him. Do you know what's going on?
No, just got the call, just like you.
All right, well, let's go take a peek.
Hit the elevator button,
All right.
hop in when it gets there.
Yep. It was probably already, one of them was probably already on your level, being that you had just come here to, get cleaned up after your shift. So, and then I would assume you just hit the button for the top level.
Yep.
All right. And then Klaus, you're in your office in the Siegson store. I'm assuming you come out and head towards the elevator.
Exactly that.
Exactly that. As you're walking through the Siegson store towards the door, Christian Clark, he's the guy who basically, for lack of a better word, runs the store. He sees you walking by. He's watching something on a PDAT, probably a movie of some sort, because there's a whole lot of explosions and that type of thing. He kind of looks up and says, "They call you Mr. Wagner?"
Yes. I'm not sure what's going on, but they called me.
That's there's not a lot of calling anybody around here. Any idea what this is about?
No idea. Just time to find out.
All right. Well, let me know if you need anything.
Thank you, most kind.
All right. As you get out to the elevator, a blonde-headed woman sticks her head out of the general store, and this is Perry Benoit. She is she runs the general store. She's pretty. She's blonde. She's middle-aged. She's got some curves in the right places, and she just kind of smiles at you and says, "How are you, Klaus?"
Fine, thank you, and yourself?
Doing just fine. After whatever meeting you've got going there, I'd love to meet you for a drink.
Looking forward to it. I smile warmly at her.
Okay. All right. The door opens up, and she heads back into the general store. Up on upper level 1, we have Dr. Tomansky and the marshals all kind of pop out of their offices and run into each other right there.
Good morning, Dr. Szymanski. How are you doing?
Promise type.
Well, I suppose we should get headed down to this meeting. I don't really know what's going on, but it's got to be important. Huh.
Mm-hmm.
That seems to be afoot. I like the verbiage. All right. So, you guys pop up on the upper level. That's Roanoke Station level 2. And you come out of the turbo. Oh, I'm sorry, Jimenez. I apologize. What are you up to? I completely forgot you. I sincerely apologize.
Yeah, I figured. Okay. I was basically just joking around with some of the working Joes. They're fucking hilarious. They don't know how to react to jokes.
Yeah, they're very literal.
Mm-hmm.
What station level are you on? Where are you at?
I was just hanging about in the Promenade. I'm just waiting like usual. I wasn't really doing too much of anything.
Yeah, and that actually works out very perfectly because in the maiden promenade, there's two of your favorite working Joes to mess with. Working Joe number 810 and 1732 were just basically standing around waiting for orders with a dozen working Joes on the station and not a whole lot going on. Most of them just stand around waiting.
Mm-hmm.
So, in that case, it would be safe to assume, and I'm sorry I forgot you, that you would probably ride up with Wagner.
Of course.
And reaching the top level, we have Wagner, Jimenez, and of course Tomansky and the deputy and the marshal are both going to make it up to the top level first. The top level, of course, is not very large. Sven called you up to admin, which is the security door to the left when you come out of the elevator. Roanoke's very much a low-tech type station. You know, it's all basic metal decking and power conduits and pipes and that type of thing, all exposed. It was designed to be built efficiently but inexpensively.
Figures, Seegson are fucking cheap bastards.
Which level are you saying we came out on?
You are up on upper level 2.
Okay.
Got it. Okay.
Got it.
Are we going to use our own maps here, or project anything?
Yeah, at this moment it's okay. You guys can just use your own maps. I don't feel a need to drag you around at this moment since we're just going through preliminary running around. So as you head over to the security door that heads into admin, one of the other lifts opens up behind you guys, and out steps Jake Robertson and Grace McCafferty, the Hyperdyne rep.
Now we'll make a left and kind of probably fall in step behind them, head for the admin office.
All right. What would you like to do, Grace?
Just going to continue a very polite but somewhat forced smile and just be like, I wonder what's so important that everyone else on this station is going to it. I see this.
It's probably just another reminder for us to not mess with anything. They tend to do that a lot. They're very uptight. I'm looking at you, Wagner.
I thought that was during the monthly meetings.
You think, but they always feel the need to remind us every fucking month or so.
Maybe we're all due for a raise. Jake will get a chuckle at that.
Oh, they don't give a fuck about us. We're just out here because they want us.
Hyperdyne has very competitive wages.
I've stuck with Seegson my entire life, and frankly, I don't really have any plans of leaving them anytime soon.
We have great company benefits.
I really couldn't
if I'm
give a rat's ass.
If Marshal Hobbs is up on the deck and hears this, he politely asks everybody, "Please, let's go to the meeting, ladies and gentlemen."
Right, Copper. Take us there.
All right, so you open the security door, revealing admin beyond, as well as shoot. My PDF does not like me switching back and forth between these screens. I really do need a third monitor. All right, so when the security door opens to the admin room beyond, you see Sven Olafsson. He is standing next to a computer terminal, and he turns at the door opening. Sven Olafsson he's a pretty big guy that looks like he'd be, if you gave him long hair, he'd be more at home on a 12th century Viking ship probably than in an office. He's wearing a button-up shirt and a pair of suit pants. His sleeves are rolled up, and the moment the door opens, you feel the very warm air of admin. Much warmer than the rest of the station, and you can see that Olafsson has large stains under his arms from where he's been sweating. There's also a working Joe here, number 203. It's just kind of standing off to the side, waiting for somebody to tell it what to do. And there's a large swiveling desk fan on one of the counters, blowing back and forth, trying to give some semblance of movement. Olafsson sees you all as you start to file in, and he says, Ms. McCafferty, your presence is not necessary here. You're a Hyperdyne rep. This is Seegson business.
I mean, you've called everyone on this whole ship. Is nothing that pertains to me and my operations at all?
I don't even understand what your operations are here. Why Hyperdyne rented space from us, especially a competing company. So no. If you would just wait outside or go about your business, please.
If you insist, and I'll step out the door, but I just, let's see, who was friendliest to me coming up? No,
Mr. McCaffrey, please step outside the door.
If you guys insist.
It's Marshal Hobbs.
Hobbs, tell me if it's something important that actually impacts the rest of us on this station.
Outside the door, please, Mr. McCaffrey.
I'll step out.
All right. The door shuts and it locks. Of course, it's a security door, so it's combination. McCaffrey, I will get back to you in just a moment since you're by yourself. Meanwhile, Sven looks around. Mr. Olafsson looks around and says, "Thank you very much, all of you, for coming. We have a little bit of a situation here."
What kind of situation, Sven?
Why is it so hot in here?
He looks at Jake Robertson and he says, "Why is it so hot in here?" Jake, we've got to deal with what I'm about to tell you all about, but Mr. Robertson, when we finish with this, I need you to get down to environmental and find out why the hell it is so warm in this room.
Sure thing. What's going on?
A ship has appeared on station sensors. It's approaching via conventional thrust. It's not in FTL. The vessel is a survey vessel. Its call sign is USCSS 22576 Midas. It was actually through here about 6 months ago. Pardon me. It's a survey vessel. It's a exploratory mineral survey vessel going about to planets, moons, even asteroids, just looking to see what they're made of and see what resources. It's independent. It's not run by Seegson or any company. It's an independent ship. The disaster beacon is pinging, but I can't raise anybody up on comms. So we need to go out and check her out and maybe bring her back.
All right, I'll take a ride out there, see what I can find.
Yeah, Jimenez, your purpose here is obvious. We're going to need you to pilot the tugboat. And
yeah.
let's see here.
Hold on here. Do we have any word from Wayland on this ship's manifest or its original destination?
They're an independent ship, so they probably wouldn't be involved.
That's fair. Would we happen to know how many people might be on the ship?
We
So that way
do.
we can better prepare ourselves.
We do, and I believe that Dr. Tomansky, you're correct. They may need medical assistance, which is why I called you here as well. We don't know what happened to the ship, but they had a crew of 4. When they came through 6 months ago, the captain was a woman by the name of Goolsby, and she had 3 other crew members: a geologist named Askew, a medic, and an electronics technician. They also purchased a working Joe from the Siegson store before they shipped out. They said they needed some additional heavy muscle. Their transponders are working fine. We know they have power, but they're not running in FTL, and we get no response on comms.
Sounds like they might all be asleep at the wheel. I don't know how, but somehow.
Yeah, well, that's what we're going to send you all to figure out. Robertson, you're there, of course, to provide aid with any mechanical problems they may have. Tomansky, you're there for medical support. Mr. Wagner, I want you there simply because, outside of myself, you're the ranking Siegson rep on the station. I want you to assess the situation. And as far as the marshals, well, if something has happened, your investigative skills may be necessary.
Understood.
Figures.
Roger.
How soon do you want us to head out? I can get us out there next 10 minutes or so.
Yeah. Make sure your ship is supplied and leave as quickly as you can. I certainly want you all launched within an hour.
Okay, got it. Okay, everybody, let's get over to the tugboat now.
Alright, so before we do that, let me switch over to Miss Grace McCafferty. So Grace, the door just closed in front of you. What are you up to?
Let me just confirm what we were on level.
You are on station upper level 2.
Upper level 2.
2. I think I would just pop over to. No one's in comms, correct?
Generally speaking, no one's in comms. That's correct.
I would just pop over to comms and see what I could see if, what's going on. Also, maybe boost a signal that I had to send anyways, that my office is kind of, crappy reception at times.
Okay. So comms has a security door that separates it, that keeps it closed. So if you want to hack that security door, you will need to make a CommTech roll.
I don't know the password. Thought 1, 2, 3, 4 would work, and
is that? Hold on, give me one moment. I'm sorry. Yeah. Okay. Well, you may push the roll if you like.
nah, I'm good. I'll just shrug and move back to impatiently waiting out the door to chide whoever thought this was a good idea to exclude the Hyperdyne representative, an honest company agent working here, from the meeting.
All right, perfect. All right, so after the conversation, the door opens. You all begin, I assume, to file out, and there's Grace McCafferty just standing there outside.
So what's the big secret?
None of your goddamn business, you fucking rat.
Klaus's eyes go a bit wide at that, and no, there's no need for that kind of language. Out of character, would this be sensitive information, or would we share it freely that there's a ship in orbit?
Considering Grace is really not, she works for Hyperdyne, not Siegson. I would consider this to be sensitive mission information at this point.
Right, excellent.
This is Hobbs talking in character. All right, everybody, we need to get moving. Grace, we'll fill you in if there's something that you need to know later on. You might push past her.
Okay.
I'm just gonna keep walking. I guess I'm following everyone down the elevator.
All right.
Glance around at everybody and then shrug and say, find out what's wrong with the heat. I'm going to head for... there are 2 elevators, right?
There are.
I'm going to go for the one that everybody else isn't getting into since they're going another place.
Okay. All right.
Klaus kind of winks at the what we call it, engineer, and say, "Quickly now, we are waiting just for you." And kind of trying to make it so that Grace sees that he's going on a secret mission.
All right. And okay, Tomansky asks Grace for help packing supplies.
Yeah, I guess I'll help out. Well, what's the worst that can happen?
All right. So that would put the marshals, Grace, and Tomansky all getting off on upper level 1, unless I'm mistaken. If the marshals need to go to their office, I apologize. I just assumed. Where do you marshals need to head to, or are you just tell me what you're up to?
Well, out of character, I have my gear listed, which I'm assuming I carry on my person during the meeting. Is that correct?
Yeah, I think that's safe to say.
And as far as picking up additional supplies, I'm guessing there's an arms locker that's accessible by me and the other marshal?
Correct. That is absolutely correct. There is a weapons locker inside the marshal's office, and it generally contains a shotgun, 2 service pistols, as well as some reloads.
Okay, I'm gonna gear up with the. I have listed here as the shotgun that's already on me, but I'd like to pick up the pistol and extra reload.
Okay. All right. So let me run over to your character sheet. Where are you, Hobbs? There you are. What about you, Jones? What are you up to?
Is there any other form of equipment in the marshal's office?
Oh,
like,
yes.
Do we have our own spacesuits or anything like that?
There are not spacesuits, though. There are spacesuits on the there are spacesuits on the tugboat.
Okay.
And they're give me 1 second here. You should have that pistol showing up under weapon 2 of your character sheet, Hobbs. Tell me if you don't see it. Yeah.
I got it.
Okay, perfect. And also, real quick, everybody, I didn't do this last game because there wasn't enough gear to worry about. If you look at your character sheet, you will see just above the weapons, there's a line called encumbrance, which encumbrance is your maximum encumbrance is equal to your strength times 2. Different items have a different weight, and I've put your encumbrance based on what's on your character sheet. So, and to finish answering your question, Mike Jones, there are riot vests here as well. There's 2 riot vests, which if you want to pick one of those up, you could. It adds 1 to your encumbrance, and it gives you an armor of 4.
Perfect. Yeah, I'll go ahead and grab that, and if I can I grab another reload for my Magnum?
Absolutely. For the go ahead.
Yeah,
And
riot vest for.
I'm sorry.
Sorry, I stepped on you. Riot vest for Hobbs too.
Okay, perfect. You guys can go ahead and put that on your character sheet. Add 1 to your encumbrance for the riot vest, make your armor 4, and then for the extra reload for your revolver, that adds 0.25 encumbrance. This is Alien, the accounting.
Wagner approved.
All right, Grace.
One
I'm sorry.
second. Yeah, sorry about that. You said armor is raised to what?
4.
Got it.
Okay. All right. So Grace and Tomansky. Grace, you follow Tomansky into medical, I assume?
Yeah.
All right. A quick note about medical. Now, Tomansky, you've got some things on your character sheet already in terms of med kits, and I think you have a surgical kit, that type of thing. As you put it, your go bag. There are In general, medical will also contain pretty much anything you would expect it to contain in terms of additional med kits or various pharmaceuticals or that type of thing, if you would think you need any of those. And then so you inform Grace as to what's going on. All right. So yeah, Grace, you get the whole lowdown from Tomansky.
So there's another ship coming to the station that you guys didn't want to tell me about. Great cooperation. I know, don't we all?
Alright, so here's where I am going to really quickly, while I'm doing this, give me 1 second, I'm going to get you guys your Act 1 agendas now.
Okay, got it.
It's going to take me a moment. I thought about making it a handout, but then because there's 3 agendas for each character, it became way too much, so I just decided I'm going to do a copy paste really quickly. So just bear with me. It'll show up on your character sheets momentarily.
Okay. In bios and info? Or no, just the personal agenda in the upper left?
Correct.
Okay, got it.
Alright.
I hate to do this, Marty, but can I step out to the latrine here just for a sec?
Yeah, go ahead. I gotta do this anyway, so that's fine. Alright.
I'll take a quick bathroom break too, then.
Yep, go ahead. Yep. Klaus, yours is up.
Thank you.
Grace, yours should be up.
Okay.
If you don't see it, please let me know.
Thank you.
Alright. Mike Jones.
Alright, I see mine.
Perfect. Roberto. Let's see. Jimenez, see if yours is there, because I just pasted it in and for some reason it's not showing on my end.
Yep, I have it in mind.
Okay, perfect. Come on, Jake. There we go. And... oh, that's why I can't find her. I'm looking for Willa Tomansky and I can't find her. It's because I have her in there as Dr. Willa Tomansky in its alphabetical order. Alright, everybody should have their agendas now. If you don't, please let me know and we'll figure out what the hell's the problem.
I have to do what with Grace?
Man, I may have to lower my mic sensitivity. I even move and it seems to pick that sound up. Is everybody here?
Yep.
Yep.
Here.
All right. Tomansky, do you and you have your agenda, Tomansky? Okay, perfect. All right, very good. All right, so I'm gonna cut over to I'm gonna cut over to Jake from State Farm for a minute. And what are you wearing, Jake? All right, so you head all the way down. You jumped in the elevator and headed all the way down to environmental. Wow, what the heck? Man, today's the day of technical difficulty. Somebody love it. There we go. All right, so Jake, you took the elevator down to environmental, correct? Jake may not be back yet.
Maybe not. Wait, no, he's there. His camera's on. Or wait, no, that's not him. Never mind.
It's all right. All right, we'll come back to Jake in a minute then. All right, so Willow Tamansky, you get Grace's help packing up. Were there any additional supplies you wanted to bring along?
Doctor, I can help administer first aid to those people on deck if we need it. Yeah. Thank you.
All right. Any additional supplies and medical that you want to bring along? Anything that you can think of?
Do we have a surgical kit?
Okay. We'll call tranquilizers Naproleve. How about that? The ever valuable Naproleve. Tomansky, I believe, does have a surgical kit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Emergency kit.
So yeah, she's got med kits and surgical kits. Yeah, absolutely. All right, perfect. Do me a favor. I'm just going to roll one quick d6 here. Where'd my roll go? So Tomansky, just add to your inventory 3 Naproleve. Are you all familiar with what Naproleve is and what it does?
No.
Okay. So, did you see Prometheus?
Yes.
Okay, so you remember after she did the Pauling med pod extraction of the fetus thing, she injects herself with something. That's what Naproleve is supposed to be. It's basically a pain and stress reducer. In terms of game mechanics, when you inject yourself with Naproleve, it immediately reduces your stress to 0 and ends all panic effects as a very warm, calming feeling comes over you. However, it is highly addictive, and you cannot take more than 1 dose in a shift where you suffer your agility, I believe.
Makes sense.
So, all right. The marshals.
I'm back. Got it.
Got it. All right, cool. So the marshals, you guys collect your ammunition and your riot vests. You come out of medical right about the same time that Tomansky and Grace come out of medical.
Hobbs speaks up and says, "Yeah, go ahead, Mike. Shadow."
Oh no, no, it looks like Tomansky is asking for you, Hobbs.
Mr. Tomansky, what can I help you with? I don't know about that. She's not part of Seegson, and I'm not entirely sure why Hyperdyne has her here. Do you think it's essential?
If I can interject, I am good at giving emergency medical aid.
Things are ugly.
Well, you know what? Otherwise, I wouldn't be doing this, but you're the medical officer, so I defer to you. Miss McCaffrey, you can come along with us.
Thank you, Marshal.
All right.
You might want to hold off on that, thanks.
What could happen? What could possibly go wrong? All right. I'm gonna. Klaus, what are you up to?
Klaus is just quickly heading to the store to close down any active work he was doing, and then he'll just head on over to where the rest are.
All right. And then, let's see. Jake, I'm just going to go down the line here. Jake, you went all the way down to environmental, is that correct?
That's right. I am on sub-level 2,
Yep.
hopping out of the elevator.
All right, perfect.
I'm sorry, I think it's sub-level 1.
Yes, right.
Okay.
No. Sub-level 2, you had it right the first time. Sub-level 2 is where environmental
Oh,
is.
okay. I was reading the map wrong. Okay.
No
Yeah,
problem.
so I am going to get out of the elevator, make a right, and head into environmental control and see if I can figure out what's going on with the climate control.
All right, you pop open the, or you punch in the code to the security door, and it opens up with a big metallic type thing, and you nearly jump out of your skin because a working Joe android's just standing directly on the other side of the door. Those couldn't have been more than 3 inches from the door, and it's just standing there.
I'll jump back and then collect myself a second, look at it, give it the same suspicious squint I usually give them and say, "Are you messing around with the temperature controls?"
It kind of tilts its head for a moment as it's processing what you're saying. Then it tilts back up and says, "No, Mr. Robertson. I was simply awaiting instructions."
+1 stress dice.
Well, do me a favor. Wait out here in the hallway. I got to take a look at something.
Very well, Mr. Robertson. And it walks forward into the hallway, 6 feet or so, and then it just stops. Doesn't turn back to face you or anything. It's still just staring off in the same direction it's been.
I'll shrug off a little shiver because I hate the working Joes, and they make me unnerved. And then head into environmental control and start looking around and see what I can find.
All right, perfect. Go ahead and make a heavy machinery roll, if you would, please. Two successes. Very good. So you have a stunt. One success with pretty much everything in this game is all you need, but you do have a stunt. Do you have the stunt list?
I don't have it in front of me.
I can.
Hang on. I have the PDF. Give me a second. I'll pop it up.
Okay.
Heavy machinery, 64. Heavy machinery stunts. I can get a +1 modification to a later skill roll relating to this one. I can avoid re-rolling for this same situation in the future. Let's just say I act quickly.
Okay.
That's an option.
It is an option.
So-
Allows you to do it in basically half the time.
Right.
So.
Sorry, just to quickly interject. I did put the rules and like the stunts and everything in the Discord chat. So
Perfect.
you guys have it.
Yeah, the
You guys have
PDF
that
I
now?
sent.
Okay, cool.
Yep.
Yeah, that PDF is the best PDF on the planet. It just puts everything in one place. It's so good. All right, so yeah, you quickly glancing around environmental. There's no question whatsoever that the the coolant injectors that head up to the admin section are jammed. They're just not providing the efficiency that they should be doing. Looking at it, it would probably take you about 6 hours to fix it.
Okay. Is there any kind of intercom or way for me to contact admin from here?
Absolutely.
Okay, so I'm going to ring up to admin and see if I can get, I forget his name, but the big sweaty guy on the phone.
Yeah. So,
Sven. Yeah, I'm going to ring Sven.
Sven answers. Admin, Mr. Robertson?
Sven, I'm down here in environmental control. It looks like the coolant pumps are jammed up. I can get it fixed. It'll probably take me 6 or 7 hours to do it, but I'm off. I can get to it now if you need it.
He mumbles something that you're fairly certain is an expletive in Swedish of some sort, and he says, "No, get back with the rest of the crew. Continue the mission out to recover Midas. I'll suffer for now."
Okay. So I'll kill the intercom and head back for the elevator.
Perfect.
And on the way past, I'll tell the working Joe not to work too hard.
It kind of tilts its head sideways and says, "I am only capable of functioning at one level."
Believe me, I know. Get on the elevator and get out of there.
All right. And then Roberto Jimenez, what are you up to?
I'm just prepping the tugboat for fucking takeoff. It's not much of anything at all. Just, making sure that it's fully fueled, maintenance, everything like that.
Perfect. Yeah, everything is good to go. The ship is ready. Basic inventory check shows that you've got plenty of food and water. As you're getting it together, you're picking up the ping of the Midas, and it's about 0.1 parsec away. Which with the FTL drive on this ship, that will not take long to get to by any means. I mean, the tug is not particularly quick, but 0.1 parsec is next to nothing. So
yeah,
and so like I said, the ship is well stocked, food and water. There's multiple spacesuits. Everything seems to be working fine. The towing system is operational and ready. The docking umbilicus is ready to go. Everything looks good.
Is it possible for me to check for anything extra from the ship? With the
like
things
what?
that I have. If it's actually sending out any more detailed signals other than just the beacon.
Make a comm-tech roll.
Okay. Modifiers 0?
Correct.
Really? Out of 7 dice?
Get used to it.
Badly.
You can push the roll if you like.
There's no point in doing that. It's just gonna stress me out.
That's a true statement.
Fuck.
Yeah, it doesn't seem to be transmitting any information other than what you already know. Alright. So, to montage this a little bit, everybody, you pretty much all arrive about the same time. Robertson's probably the last one to get there because he was messing around in environmental a little bit, but not by more than a minute or so. As you all head down the hallway out of the main promenade towards... Oh, did anybody... I apologize, I meant to ask the question. Did anybody want to pick up anything from the Seegson store or the general store before you guys go?
I think we're fine.
Negative on the Martian.
All right. So you reach the airlock where the Seegson tug is docked, and written in red paint, the call numbers for the ship are lined through, and underneath there's the word tubgoat as opposed to tugboat in quotes.
Tugboat.
And if we're going to montage this a little bit, I'm going to just move it along if you're all good with that.
Sure.
I just asked ask what the rat's doing here because I don't know why the Hyperdyne representative's on my fucking ship.
I'm
Yeah.
here to help with medical aid. I heard the situation. It's really terrible.
Well, I don't think we have any confirmation of what the situation is. We're just
Well, we know there's a ship
checking.
and that people could be hurt in Hyperdyne, just like all corporations is concerned with the safety and well-being of everyone.
Jimenez, stick to piloting the ship. Let's get going.
Fine, but if she's doing anything suspicious, I'm not sure what we're gonna do with her.
That's my job. Stick to piloting the ship, Jimenez.
Fine. Okay. Is everybody ready?
Ready as we'll ever be.
Indeed.
Okay, let's get underway.
All
Proceeds to, yeah.
All right. So that's you guys head out, and there we go. You guys head out, and we will. It's 0.1 parsec with the FTL on this ship. It takes overall less than a day to get where you're going. Anybody have anything specific they want to say or do, or interactions, or anything along those lines? Or am I just moving it forward?
I think we're just moving it forward.
Perfect. That'll work fine for me. So you drop out of FTL, and you're definitely getting close to the signal for the USCSS Midas. As the ship starts to come into view, you see it's not too similar from the tugboat. It is an M-class vessel, but it's a bit smaller than your Bison class tug is. It clearly an older model. You see the telltale signs of a ship that's been kept held together over the years through all sorts of jury rigging and maintenance, but she's operating under thrust, and you can tell she definitely has power, which your sensors already told you. And you are closing the distance.
I'm getting a bad feeling about this.
Hail the ship, Jimenez.
Should
You
we
receive
try to
no
raise
answer.
somebody on comms? Should we try to raise somebody on comms?
Now that we're in range, it should work better. Now that so any checks I make, or just
No. I as I explained in the last session, I operate under the belief that if it's just a very basic task, something you should be able to do, it's really not an issue. So yeah, you're able to activate the comm system without any checks.
Okay. And do we hear anything?
There is no answer.
Figures.
There's no answer.
I really don't like where this is going, but I guess we're not backing down, are we?
Well,
No, of course we're not backing down. Let's get ready to do a soft dock.
Alright then, Sheriff.
Alright, so Jimenez, if you're going to line the ship up so that you can connect your airlock to theirs, you will need to make a piloting roll.
Oh no. I'm already getting a very bad feeling about this.
Yeah, I have a bad feeling about you piloting all the time.
It's fun.
Hey, success!
One success, all you need. So you're able to line her up without any problems whatsoever. You match her vector and velocity without any issues whatsoever. It's good to go. And this is where Mr. Robertson, or somebody, I should not presume, but somebody would need to connect the docking umbilicus, which is a heavy machinery action. Of course, to connect the umbilicus, you're also talking about going out into space, which would require some sort of spacesuit, I imagine, which the tug does have.
Jacob volunteered for the spacewalk and to connect the umbilicus.
All right.
Good man, good man.
Don't forget to tether in.
No problem, officer. Just leave me to my job.
PPE, oh no.
So, do you need me to make a roll, or how do I go about getting this started?
You will make a heavy machinery roll. It normally, in order to connect a docking umbilicus, would take 1 turn, about 10 minutes.
Okay. I'll make the roll here. I'm short. I'll push it. I'll take a stress.
All right.
Mark a stress. Does this automatically add my stress dice?
It does. There. The
Yeah, you
first
get +2
panic
to it.
of the day. All right, so go ahead and make your panic roll.
I'm good.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Oh, by the way, you can roll panic right off the character sheet, and it will add the stress automatically.
No, does it? Oh,
Yep.
okay.
So, 1 + 1 is 2. So you're fine. You have 2 stunts on that heavy machinery roll.
2 stunts. I will decline to have to roll for this again.
Perfect.
And I will. I can save a successful for later, right?
Yep. Yeah, for a bonus die on a future heavy machinery. Absolutely.
Future heavy machinery. Okay, I'll save a success, and I will not have to roll to do this connection again.
All right. Perfect. And would you do one more thing? In fact, I will add it to your character sheet. Well, we don't need to add it to your character sheet. Unless you're planning on keeping the spacesuit. But the spacesuit has 4 oxygen, so if you would make if you just roll 4d6 for me. No ones. So, all right. Takes you about 10 minutes worth of work, but you're able to connect the umbilicus over. It was a little tough at first, and you something about the older M-class ship just wasn't 100% compatible with the docking umbilicus of the tug, but you're able to hook it up, shaking it off a little bit, and so you are connected and pressurized.
Okay, while I'm doing it, I'm gonna gripe a little bit that this is not a standard connection. It's not a model. I'm gonna make it seem like it's a little bit more annoying than it really is. And who's in charge as far as that's Wagner, right? Is the admin basically?
Yep, he's the lead company rep for Seegson.
Okay, I'm gonna gripe to Wagner that he's gonna owe me a bonus for doing this spacewalk.
I will put it in the notes.
Yeah, you do that for your notepad at your desk.
Just your vitals seem a bit high. Just deep breath, and we will talk about the bonus when we get out of this.
My vitals are fine. Don't worry about me. I'll finish connecting.
All right, perfect.
Marshal Hobbs speaks up and he says, Tamansky and I were talking, probably a good idea if we have any personal protective equipment, we need to don those before we go over. For biological threats.
Yep, the tug does have 4 spacesuits. They're Mark 35s, which will provide 4, its own self-contained oxygen. It has 4. Each has 4 oxygen. It also provides armor, but it decreases your agility.
Do we have any readouts for the environment through the umbilical cord?
Yeah, I would say you can access that. The ship interior of Midas is perfectly perfectly pressurized. It has a perfect O2 reading. No biological contaminants noted.
Okay, Roger. I don't think we need to put suits on then. I think we're clear to go in.
And I would. All right, perfect. Sorry, go ahead.
So I'm asking just for the layout of what's going on here. So is Jake back into our ship?
Yes.
And okay, so the umbilical is pressurized and everything, or the dock is pressurized.
Correct. Yeah, at this point, it's as simple as walking across and opening the door.
Gotcha.
Roger. So deferring to Wagner. Plus, as long as you think we're clear to go, let's make our way and set order of march into here.
We'll make.
It'll be the. Go ahead.
Yep. No, I just want to triple check the environmentals. Make sure we've got air on the other side, and then I'll nod to the marshal and say, "All yours until it is secured."
All right.
Roger. I'll take command here. I'd like to have. Sorry, still learning the names here. Jones, I'd like you to take up the middle, and I'll go first. Jake, right behind me, please. Jimenez, you're going to stay on the ship until the last person.
Figures.
And Mansky, I would like you third in line. Miss McCaffrey, you can be behind Tomansky. We could sort this out as far as let's go.
Let's see here. Can everybody see Midas main deck?
Yes. Yep.
All right, perfect. And this was a fail on my part. Everybody, this was a fail on my part. You would have actually had the Sven Olofsson would have actually been able to give you guys the main deck layout of Midas before you left. So this is not unknown knowledge by any means. So sorry about that.
Okay.
So go ahead and drag your characters over. This you see the airlock right there. Yep, and that's where you're coming in. Based on your information, right on the other side of the airlock is a large vehicle bay.
Okay, are you placing our icons on this map, or do we have to drag them from somewhere?
Oh, yeah, go ahead and drag it over for me if you would. And if anyone's having a problem, let me know.
I don't know how to get mine to be like a one square like that.
Just click on your character and just drag it over to the map.
Yep.
And it should come over.
Yeah, it's. We got. Are you guys in your journal tabs when you're trying to drag over?
Okay.
Yep. Yeah, just hover over the name itself and then drag over.
Yeah.
Looks like we got a copy. Okay, there we go.
Yeah, there we go. I took care of it. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Who are we missing?
There we go.
I just did mine.
Okay. So we are missing one other. Who are we missing? Tomansky? Here, I got you, Tomansky.
Bam.
All right. Let me get back on my. There we go. No, it's okay. It's okay. All right. So let's go ahead and move the. Let's get the icons in order. Let's see, Hobbs, you're going first. Is that correct?
That is correct.
Okay. And who'd you have behind you?
Jake.
Jake. Okay. And then who was next? Was it Jones next?
Yep. Jones.
All right. And then what? Wagner, Tomansky, and McCafferty in the rear. Is that the idea?
Yep.
Okay, perfect.
Yep.
That's correct.
All right.
Da-da-da-da-da.
Very good. Thank you very much for let's getting through that. All right. The airlock door opens easily, and you've got a perfect pressure match between the umbilicus and the interior of Midas. This room that you've entered is huge. It's clearly the absolute width of Midas. There's a large cargo bay door on the side right next to the airlock where you came in, and all the way on the far side of the room is another large cargo bay door. There's several vehicles here. There is a Daihotai 8x8 tractor that it's an older model, but it looks like it's in reasonably good shape. Attached to it is a trailer of sorts with what looks like a large drilling rig. There's of course on the north, shall we say the north wall, since you're looking at the map, there is a door that, based on what you downloaded before leaving Roanoke Station, should go to the engineering section. There's a door just to your right on the southern wall, which should head down into the crew section as well as head to command. And then there is a door on the far side of that southern wall that you believe goes to some sort of storage area. There is, at your angle it's hard to read it, but it looks like there's something scrawled across that wall, maybe in grease or black paint.
Are you saying by the number 7, that's where the scroll?
No, the number 2. The door that leads to number 2.
Oh, roger that. Okay. All other doors are closed though, right?
Correct, all doors are closed.
Okay. How's the lighting and environment?
Fine. Everything is very well lit. Everything's functioning.
It doesn't look like anything's
Okay.
been forced around or anything like that.
Not at all. Not that you can tell. Yeah, there would be intercom controls. Absolutely.
Yeah, good call, Doctor. I'm going to move over to the first intercom I see and announce our arrival.
All right.
I can ad-lib that, I suppose.
That's fine. After a moment, a sleepy voice answers and says, "Who are you?"
This is Marshal Heath Hobbs of the Seegson Station. Forgot the station name.
Roanoke.
Station Roanoke. We are here intercepting your vessel. We have assumed that you are under distress.
Yes, we are under distress. Well, I am under distress.
Where are you located? Is anybody hurt severely? Is anybody in danger?
No one's in danger at the moment. This is Technician Leslie. I'm up in command. The rest of the crew is dead.
We're going to head up to you. What happened to the crew before we go?
They were killed.
Killed by what?
By that thing that's currently locked up in storage.
Dang. Something killed your crew?
It was the Working Joe. The Working Joe killed
Working
him.
Working Joe's turned on you then?
Yes, it's locked up. I'm assuming you came through the airlock. I'm assuming
They came in through the airlock.
So it's locked up in the storage room right off the vehicle. The FTL drive is down. The FTL drive is down. The Joe was working on it when it went berserk.
Oh God. Okay. What is the number of Joes on this vessel?
Just one. Just the number 620 that the captain bought when we passed through Roanoke 6 months ago.
Okay, roger that. I notice in my equipment I have a walkie-talkie. Does anybody else in our team besides Deputy Jones have a walkie?
I do not.
No, I believe Jones
I
is the
don't.
only one.
Gotcha.
All right, Jones, I'd like you to stand watch by the by the door where the Joe is presumably holed up.
And again, is that 3?
2.
2. Oh, 2. My bad. Okay. Then
Okay.
yeah.
All right, and that's the one with something written on it, right?
Yep. And I am going to. Once you get closer, you get a better angle, and you can read, Jones. You can read what is written there, and I am going to show that to you in your journal right now, if I can. I'm having issues. There you go. You should be able to see that. To answer your question, Tomansky, the Working Joes, Seegson has done very well with the Working Joes in that they create a substantially less expensive option for frontier worlds and colonies than, say, Hyperdyne Systems Android. Of course, they're not nearly as versatile in terms of what they can do, but at this point, there are no known instances of a Working Joe attacking a human. Working Joes are, of course, programmed with the 3 basic rules of robotics: may not injure a human being, or through inaction allow a human being to come to harm. Must obey the orders given it by a human being, except where such orders would conflict with the first law, and must protect its own existence as long as such protection does not conflict with the first or second law.
And did you, the manufacturer Working Joes is it Seegson or is it Hyperdyne?
Seegson.
Okay.
No, it's Seegson. Hyperdyne makes higher quality stuff.
Okay.
Figures.
Okay. Well, all right. Well, we need to get up to command, so I'm gonna. Let's see. I need Dr. Tomansky. You're with me. Jake, you're with me. The rest of you stay down here with Jones, and Jones, make sure that robot doesn't come out of there and do anything he's not supposed to.
Will do, Marshall. Can I go? Would it be possible if I can just kind of press my ear against the door to see if I can hear anything?
Sure. Make an observation roll.
Yeah. Where? Yes, 1 success.
Okay, 1 success. No, you hear nothing from the room beyond. It's perfectly quiet. And the door is, of course, closed, and it is locked from the outside. Shouldn't require much to open. And Wagner, you moved there?
Yes.
Okay, so you also will see what is written on the door. I'll give you that. You did see that, Jones?
Yeah, I saw that.
Okay, perfect. And Wagner, and I will say, Hobbs, if you've moved up towards engineering, you're getting enough angle on it to see it as well. In fact, you know what? Let's just give it to everybody. Let's stop messing around. Everyone should now be able to see what's written on the door.
I'm not sure. Hold on a second. Is that?
It showed up as a handout right above my name.
Yep.
Oh, okay.
And just to confirm, we all heard the
conversation.
we all heard the
Yeah,
of the
absolutely.
comm. Okay.
What does this mean? Don't Joe open inside?
I'm not sure. It's poor showcasing of our educational system.
I think it just indicates the poor quality of Seegson cybernetics. You know, I've never in my lifetime heard of a Hyperdyne ever attacking anyone.
Hate you.
All right. We've got some dust on this station. We need to quit fooling around. Let's get up to command.
Is this
Wait in the
or do we just assume that people don't know about that incident?
Stop moving me.
Sorry.
You told me to stay on the ship, man.
Sorry, you broke up. What was that question?
Is this pre-Sevastopol, or do people just not know that happened?
People just do not know that happened.
Yeah, it's destroyed, right? Okay.
Lovely.
So it has happened, but no one knows that they've gone haywire.
Correct.
Okay.
Even hyperdyne models, because Ash from the original Alien was actually a hyperdyne model. So
A2s were always a bit twitchy.
Hmm.
All right.
Okay, so gonna make it up to command now.
Yep, which would be the door by the number 7.
Roger.
All right.
So is room 1 just fully open concept? Like there's
Yeah,
nothing
basically.
to.
Yeah, it's just a large vehicle bay, and it like I said, it contained the tractor as well as the trailer that's got the drilling rig, and there's some cargo containers. Nothing specifically marked in a way that you would understand.
Okay, got it.
All right, perfect. I had to scroll. Now I've got to scroll back down. Sorry. There we go.
I'll just be standing at the door.
All right, perfect. The door opens readily, and it's a wide hallway, about 2 meters wide. Oh shoot! Silence my phone there. Come on now. Sorry about that. About 2 meters wide, and stretches off. There's obviously a door at the far end. It's a good distance. It runs quite a bit down the length of the ship, and then of course you see doors on either sides, and you reasonably assume from what you downloaded that these are probably crew quarters sections. The first 2 sets of doors have absolutely nothing on them. They're completely blank. So,
And I know command is down. Is that 14 then?
command should be all the way at the far end, down at 14.
Okay, sounds good. I don't see any bodies or anything else in the hallway or hear anything, right?
Not at all, no.
Okay.
Yep, I will. All right. And I'll let you guys go ahead and move your tokens wherever you're going. And as you approach the next set of doors, there are names on these doors. The door to your left has the name Askew on a basically just on a placard next to it, and the door to your right has the name Leslie.
Okay.
All right. Jones and Wagner, what are you guys doing while they head down that hallway?
So, since I can see that the door is obviously locked, there's no noise on the inside, so it's probably just like standing still. I'm gonna just like take a look around,
Okay.
seeing the crates, just seeing if there's anything that might suggest like whatever it is that they were collecting might have caused this or anything like that.
Okay. I'll let you make an observation roll if you like.
Sure thing.
And Jimenez, what are you up to?
I'm currently just like peeking out the door, just looking for the right moment when they're not going to be looking at. I'm looking anywhere in my direction so that I can just sneak through the hallway and just try and keep an eye on things. Maybe peek around the ship while they're not looking.
All right. And Wagner, what are you up to?
I will just be idling in this main area, just loitering basically.
All right. To answer your question, Jones, no, it looks like that the crates and cargo containers are probably full of geological samples. Your guess would be dirt and ore and that type of thing. Nothing that really stands out as anything odd, especially aboard a mineral survey ship. So, beyond that, now, as you other 4 are heading down the hallway, you're coming up on the next set of rooms. The door to your right has the name Stroud on it. The door to the... What the heck? How did my numbers get off? There we go. I'm sorry. The door to the right has the name Stroud on it. The door to the left. The door to the left is partially open and has the name Goolsby next to it. Goolsby.
Take a peek in there if it's not lit. Well, I don't have a flashlight, it looks like. Just take a peek in the room. That's room 9, right?
Room 8.
Room 8, got
Yep.
it.
Go ahead and make an observation roll, if you will.
I would shine my light in there if that helps.
Oh, the room's actually lit.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
All right, hold on. I'm trying to do that here.
No problem.
Yeah, crap.
Did you want to push the roll?
Negative.
Okay. All right. All right. So as far as what you do see, the room is the room's a wreck. The room is an absolute wreck. There's a small metal table that's been overturned. There's a chair that is laying on its side. There is a mattress that is destroyed. It's got a big hole right in the middle of it, and there is what looks like an access terminal, kind of built into the wall. But that's really all you see.
Yeah, what the hell happened here? Let's, we gotta keep moving, folks. We got a survivor up front.
Okay, you don't get any answer. Alright.
Meanwhile, while they're all doing that, I try to sneak out of the, ship and go up to the northern door over at 3.
Okay. Make a mobility roll.
Figures. Okay, please success. No! Why?
So, you're headed that way, and, Mike Jones and Wagner see you crossing the room, being rather skulkily, but you're skulking right in plain view.
Roberto, what are you doing?
Nothing. I'm just trying to. Okay, look, it's boring as hell on the ship, and this is the first thing that's interesting that's happened in months, okay? Like, I'm really fucking bored. Can I just, I have a comm tool with me. Can I just, go ahead and see if I can get this top door open or something? Just, anything to make me useful, please.
I look in the marshal's direction, and then I look at 2, and then I'll say, just stay away from that door. There is a very dangerous Joe in it, apparently. And I guess, yes, go ahead.
Oh.
Okay. Going.
Alright.
Okay. Yeah.
The door is, it's not a heavy security door, it's a basic metal door, and it's not a proximity door, but it is unlocked. You should just be able to open it by pressing a button. And,
okay, then.
Yeah.
While he does that, I'm just gonna put my hand on my weapon at the ready, just in case,
Very good.
You so jumpy. Jeez. Okay.
We got 3 people dead, apparently, so...
Well, here goes nothing. I press the button, open the door, and quickly shimmy off to the side to make sure that nothing's there waiting for me.
There is nothing there waiting for you.
Okay.
Inside is the engineering section.
Interesting. I just kind of creep inside slowly, look around the corners, see if there's anything there. Is it fully lit or is it dark?
No, it's more or less lit. Of course, there's a lot of machinery here, which creates a number of shadows, and the you're definitely looking at the engine room of an M-class vessel. There are parts strewn about, and there is a large stain on the metal deck. Your gut reaction is it looks like blood and maybe a bit of some other stuff, but it's old. It's been there for quite some time. It's dried and yeah, it's been there for a while. There is a boot print that seems to have dried in the puddle of blood itself.
Okay, I go and look at the pool of residual liquids and just kind of try and piece together fully what might have happened.
Okay, I'll let you make an observation roll.
Let me guess, it's going to be another failure.
One can only hope.
Ah! Thank God! It's not a failure.
It's not a failure. Well, the boot print is a standard Seegson issue size 11 working Joe boot. Okay. That much is very obvious. The whatever happened a long time ago. When I say a long time ago, it could have been months. It's to call it a blood stain's not fair because it's just dried up and hardened. There are definitely bits of other material that you're fairly certain are bone and cartilage and hair. It's not a pleasant sight.
Wow, that's not looking good. Hey, are we entirely sure that working Joes are fully safe? I feel like they aren't fully safe.
Okay, just admin note here. I noticed that Cole Jimenez, he went to the bathroom when you were talking about the working Joe that attacked the rest of the crew with one survivor in command.
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So Cole, you missed that part.
By the way, Tomansky, you did. I didn't mean to skip you, but when you called out, "Is anyone here?" there was no answer.
I thought you did respond to that.
Oh, did
actually.
I might have. I
think you did.
Okay. Okay. All right.
Okay. Well, if while Jimenez is screwing around in engineering, I don't see any of that as the head marshal here. I'm up at the door that's leading into room 12. If it's my turn, do I hear or see anything?
It's a basic proximity door. As you get close to it, it opens automatically. And inside is a small galley, probably room for 6 people or so. It's just a hexagonal, very well lit hexagonal table in the middle of the room with chairs around it. There is a tray that is overturned on the floor, and there's some old desiccated rations that have been there for who knows how long. Styrofoam cup is on the table, laying on its side.
Hey, wait a second. Did the person that's in command say when this attack happened?
He did not. He just said it was months ago after you guys left Roanoke Station. After they left Roanoke Station, excuse me.
Whatever happened here must have happened a long time ago. Look at the food. It's desiccated.
How is that guy still alive if he's locked in a room without good food?
And that's a good question. Everybody have their eyes up. I use my walkie-talkie and relay this back to Jones as well.
Okay.
Gotcha. I just kind of respond to that. Maybe they were in cryo sleep and he just woke up a bit ago. Also, just so you know, Jimenez is on the ship.
Oh, God damn it! You rat! Why would you do this?
Okay, that fucking kid. Whatever. I think we need to be extra careful here because something's amiss. This wasn't a recent accident. If it was an accident, I'm going to move forward into next to the commo door or the command door.
Okay. All right. Go ahead. And there is a ladder here that is bolted to the floor that just goes up through a hole in the ceiling. Grayson Tamansky, what are you two up to? Are you just following along?
Oh, I'm following along. I'm also like kind of talking to Jake though. Like, hey, if anything goes wrong, you're gonna keep me safe, right? Like, good worker like you. I'm just a lowly
Wow.
corporate exec.
We'll see. Just stay in the back.
Yeah, rely on a corporation to keep you safe. That's a good plan.
Well,
Old corporate Jake has got your back.
In any world out there. Okay, so I'm going to ask them to continue to stay behind me. So I've got Jake, I've got Tamansky, and I've got McCafferty, right?
Yep.
Yeah, so Jake will pipe up and be like, hey, listen, she's not wrong. We don't know what's going on here. Let's try to get this done as quick as possible. There's a survivor. Let's get them and get off the ship.
That's my plan. And Jake, you're with me on the other side of the door. Let's open it up and see who's alive.
All right, let's do it.
All right. The door is locked from the inside.
And I don't have any way to bypass this here, right?
I do.
I have a cutting torch, but
Yeah.
we would probably do better to radio back to the tech and just get it open, her to open the door.
That sounds like a great idea. So I'm gonna go ahead and radio back to Deputy Jones. Mike, can you raise whoever's in command on intercom and ask them to open the door?
All right, yeah, sure thing. Just give me a second. I go over to the intercom and just inform Technician Leslie. It was Leslie, right?
Yes, that's correct.
Technician Leslie. My marshal and a few of the others are right outside the door. Could you let them in?
Yes, absolutely. Give me just a moment. I'm so glad you have all made it here. This is wonderful. All right, and then the door opens up in front of Hobbs and crew.
Anything out of the ordinary?
No. There's obviously a Bridger command center. There is a man standing at the far side. He's in a basic flight suit, flight/jumpsuit. Little worse for wear in terms of its condition. But he's not a big man. He's about 5'4" overall. Relatively short, and reasonably. He's not overweight, but he's probably a little soft around the middle. Very short hair, almost in a buzz cut, brown. And when the door opens, he just turns and looks at you. He says, "I'm Technician Leslie."
Leslie, what's going on up here? Anybody else in this room with you? Anybody else hurt?
No, there's nobody else on board the ship except me.
How long have you been cooped up like this?
3 months.
3 months in one room?
Well, I step out into the galley now and again, but now when I managed to lock the Joe in storage, I pretty much have stayed here. The captain, Askew, Stroud, they're all dead.
Okay, we're gonna move everybody into the command room up on the bridge. Doctor, would you please check out? Is it Lindsay?
Leslie.
Leslie. Doctor, will you check out Technician Leslie? Make sure he's doing okay as far as he can be for being stuck out here for so long. I go ahead and radio back to Jones and update him on what we found.
All right, I let Wagner and Jimenez in. We'll let them know that the current situation as well. And then I also call out to Jimenez. You done having fun in there? What's going on?
I kind of want to see what's on the upper/lower levels here. Might want to check it out. Because there are 2 ladder symbols in there, right?
There are 2 ladders there. They both go up. They both go up. Correct.
Okay, I guess I'll move up a level.
Okay. Which one are you going through, the left or the right?
Right.
All right. Let's see here. Where are you?
Roberto, I don't think that is a good idea.
I think it's a perfect idea.
I think the marshal is very upset if you do that.
Oh, he's already upset at me. He's always got to stick up his ass. Like, I'm just gonna do this anyway. I don't really care.
All right. So you come up the ladder in that room right there. You can see that map, yes?
Yep, I can see it.
There's not a whole lot here to see. This large room is full of machinery and tanks. You've been around ships long enough. You recognize cryo tank storage in a heartbeat. This is not where the actual cryo chambers are. This is just where all the storage of the coolant, machinery, and gases necessary for cryo are stored. And everything seems to be working. In fact, a panel indicates that 3 of the 4 cryo tubes are actually in use.
Wait. But he just said that they were all dead. I think I could overhear that from where I was, right?
Yeah, well,
Maybe.
they Hobbs related to Jones, who told you guys. So.
Hey, guys, it says here that there are at least 3 cryo tanks in use, and Leslie over there is saying that people are dead, but how can there be cryo tanks in use if everybody's dead?
I'm just gonna, like in, we got like a little bit of a shock, like, wait, what? And I just radio back that information to Hobbs. Hobbs something doesn't seem right. There's 3 cryotubes currently in use. Can you ask Leslie where the cryotubes are?
3 cryotubes? You're saying there's three survivors that are in cryo? I turned to Leslie and asked Leslie, what's going on? Who's in the cryotubes?
So, real quickly, because we kind of moved along quick there for a moment. So you had asked Leslie to have the doctor check him out, and he looks at you and says, I'm fine. I don't need any medical examination. I'm all right. Thank you.
Okay, so after the doctor's finished examining, I assume that we get to the point where I hear that information through the radio.
Yeah. So you proceed to examine him, regardless, Tomansky? All right. Would you make a medical aid roll, please?
Since I did ostensibly come to help, with medical aid, is there any chance I could help him for like a situational extra die?
Yeah, absolutely. I will allow that. Now Tomansky has no successes. Go ahead and roll just 1d6 for the aid from McCafferty.
Darn.
Still not a success. Would you like to push the roll? All right. Go ahead and push the roll. Add your stress point, re-roll, and add 1 modifier for McCafferty's help. Oh, okay. So open your character sheet, and the actual character sheet where you roll from, and then if you look, you will see that there's a stress level section on the left side of the character sheet. Go ahead and, if you have no stress, which you should have none, go ahead and click the 1. And then go ahead and re-roll your medical aid with a 1 modifier for Tomansky's help. Now you also have a med kit, which a med kit is a single-use item which gives you a +2 bonus to any medical aid roll. So you can use that. It would use it up. Okay, so yeah, go ahead and re-roll medical aid then with a total modifier of 3.
It's gonna be a lot of dice.
Oh, there it
that's
is.
4.
That is 4 successes, so you have 3 medical aid stunts you can use. Which, I'm not even sure I know off the top of my head what medical aid stunts are.
I can get them. I have the book right here.
Says you can mainly it's mainly used only to restore dice, and that's about it.
Yeah, that's
all
about
I can
it.
do.
That's about it.
Yeah, 1 health point.
So, yep.
You could do it faster and show off.
This dude's a simp.
Those are like universal stunts.
Well, with such a roll, there's absolutely no doubt in your mind that Leslie is in perfect health for a synthetic. So, yep. So Tamansky, you're aware that he's a synthetic, and, well, you informed the marshal, so anyone who is now informed that he's a synthetic gains a point of stress.
Oh, no. Wait, do I know?
That's me.
Well,
No,
I would,
only the people in the room right now.
I would
No.
assume anybody in the room gains a point of stress, so that'd be Tamansky, McCafferty, Jake, and Hobbs.
Already marked it.
Yeah.
And I assume that Kamansky relayed that info to me stealthily, or how did Kamansky do that?
Just yells out, "She's a simp!"
Straight up and loud.
A synth? Wait, Leslie, what's going on here?
I am an artificial person. I was hired by Dr. Goolsby almost a year ago. They needed an electronics technician, and that is precisely what I was designed for.
Why didn't you
You
tell
didn't
us
think you
you're
were
an
gonna-
android?
I'm sorry, you guys were speaking over each other.
Jake would ask why you didn't tell us that you're an android.
Artificial person. I didn't think that it was important. I apologize.
Very important.
Okay, well, it's hugely important. So please stand aside. I'm going to try to access the ship's database and sensors.
Okay. Well, and at this point, I would say this is where the information comes across that from the other team that the 3 cryotubes are in operation.
So what do you got in these cryotubes?
I took the bodies of the captain and the other 2. The FTL drive was down. I didn't know how long it was going to take to come back to Roanoke. I figured eventually the station would pick up my beacon and would send a ship. But comms are down, and there was really nothing I could do. But I couldn't just leave them just out where they were killed. I put them in cryo to preserve them, I suppose, for burial, or what is it you organic humans do?
Yeah, very well. I'll buy that. Do I see anything else on the sensors that is of note in the bridge?
He is wearing he's wearing a pretty nondescript type of shoe. It's a little bit high top. They're not quite boots. They're shoes. They're a little bit high top, go just over the ankles, and they're definitely laces with a Velcro strap across the top in good 80s style.
So it's not the typical working Joe boot.
It is
that
not.
you're getting it.
It is not. And I'm sorry, what did you ask before when I was answering that question?
I was just asking if any of the other bridge equipment shows anything abnormal.
There
I should notice.
are two consoles that have been damaged or probably destroyed. So yeah, beyond that, if you would like more information, you would have to do an observation roll.
I'll go ahead and do that.
Okay.
Do it.
Ouch. Would you like to push the
No
roll?
successes. Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and push it.
Okay. All right.
So I add 1 stress, right?
Correct.
Tangentially related, can I tell what brand of synthetic that Leslie is?
Not without jacking into him.
All right, so for pushing the
let me
roll,
rephrase that. I'm sorry. He's definitely a Hyperdyne model, right? Because he looks human. He looks human, but without, you wouldn't be able to tell what model or anything along those lines without really jacking into his system. And I'm sorry, Hobbs. What was that?
modifiers for pushing a roll, is it a +1 or just the normal 0?
No, it's just a normal 0. The system should add the extra stress die automatically. Oh.
Oh, for God's sakes!
All right, roll your panic, please. And it has begun. Okay. 2, and then you're at 2 stress levels, so you're at a 4. You're holding it together. You really, machinery and ships consoles aren't your thing. You're really not sure what these panels were meant to do. But there's two monitors with the adjoining panels that have been damaged.
Okay, I think we need to pilot up here to see how we can get this wreck back to the station. I call back to Jimenez. Get up here to the bridge, please.
Huh, so you finally need me.
Kid, just get up to the bridge. I don't want to hear wisecracks.
Okay.
Doctor and Miss McCafferty, would you mind taking our synth to the galley and trying to find out as much as you can while we work on the bridge?
Can we rendezvous with Mike?
You can go back there, yes.
Can my map get set to the normal Midas
Oh,
now?
my apologies. I'm sorry, sir. Give me one moment. I had forgotten you. There you go. You should be on the main deck now.
Yep, I am.
Alright, perfect. Perfect.
Okay. And I'm assuming the panels are somewhere in this. Okay. So now that I'm examining it, do I get, bonuses to,
yeah, you can make an observation roll, and with your affinity with ships, I would say you could have a +1.
Okay.
Jones, what are you up to?
Up, success.
Success. All right. It is the communications system has been destroyed, or the communications panel at least has been destroyed, and so has the security panel, which would monitor all interior security in the ship. Not sure how it's been. It's definitely been hammered by something. A tool or some sort of blunt instrument has destroyed it.
A lot of this doesn't make any sense. Why would a synth be concerned with preserving corpses? It doesn't really line up, especially since, well, to his knowledge, there isn't any reason to. It would just waste power and, ultimately make the ship less viable to get back.
Yeah, I would think anybody who spent time in space would have a question why they didn't just jettison the bodies.
That too.
Anybody
the
who spent
Hybridine
space knows
are
the
sensitive to these issues, okay? They will preserve the bodies. I'll trust my corporate tech.
What is going on here? Klaus just followed Roberto into this area.
Okay, so wait a second. I asked for Jimenez to stay up here at the bridge, everybody else to go to the galley and continue talking to the synth. They asked to go to the original area, which was the cargo bay, right? So
Oh, okay. That's where everyone's going, to the cargo bay, the vehicle bay.
everybody's going to cargo bay with the synth to talk.
Okay.
What synth? What's going on here?
Uh,
You know?
but to answer your question of what I'm doing, I'm so curious. Like, would I be able to tell where they got these samples from, just so that way we can have an idea of like where they came from?
The some of the crates and containers are marked with what you assume to be galactic coordinates. So you could probably plug those into a computer system somewhere to get that information. Yeah,
Gotcha.
there's rimward
Okay.
and spinward coordinates and stuff like that. So you would probably be able to figure it out with a little bit of research.
Okay. I'd like to do that.
Okay. Let's see. Well, you would need to find there's not a terminal in the vehicle bay, so it's a question of where you'd like to go from there.
Well, if that's the case, then I'm not going to. I'm still keeping watch on the cargo bay door.
On the door. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
But now I see everyone else is just like gathering up here.
Yeah.
It's like, oh.
So
I radio back to. I'm going to radio back to Jones and let him know what the plan is. Jimenez and I are going to try to see what's wrong with the FTL drive up in command. I'd like you to sit tight in the cargo bay, try to find out what you can from the synth we just found. And then we're going to have to check the ship after we examine FTL and see if we can get this hunk of junk rolling again so that we can get back to base.
Understood. Oh, also just to make sure, since I now know that it's a synth, I have a stress level 1. You said, right?
correct.
I just want to make sure.
And so Jimenez, as far as the ship is concerned, what's wrong with the FTL seems to be mechanical. It's not a software issue, so that would require work in engineering. However, you're fairly certain that you shouldn't have any trouble linking Midas up to your tow system back on Tubgoat. So
Okay.
you guys could look into fixing the FTL drives, or you could probably just hook her up and tow her in.
Okay, Sheriff, so we got two options. I can either tug this hug of junk back to, our station and try and figure everything out there, or I can, or we can go through a multi-hour long process of trying to fix the FTL drive and waste a bunch more time here that we could just, easily speed up by hooking it up to, the good old tub.
Is the tug system operational on this vessel so that it can be towed by Midas?
Yeah, you should be
don't-
able to.
Yeah, I don't think it really, that's not going to be affected too much.
Okay, so that's the plan. We're going to go with towing this wreck back to the station. We do need to check the rest of the ship, though, to clear it.
Okay,
We don't know what this,
you want me to deactivate those cryo tanks? Because I feel like we might want to not believe the synth on this one.
negative. I'm going to have the doctor check out the cryo tanks and see what the status is of its contents. But let's move back to the cargo bay, and we'll search the ship from there.
All right. So while
Okay,
they're
then.
having that conversation and starting to make their way back, let's cut to the vehicle bay, where most everybody is located anyway. And so let's talk. What's everybody doing?
Marshal Jones, what is going on here?
Oh, right now, some questioning as I look over to Leslie. He's got a few questions, if that's all right, and then Crom's asking if a synth's memory can be accessed.
Yep, it can be. It can be by jacking into it with a Comtech roll.
I think I have the highest Comtech here with 3 plus 4.
And then,
I also have contact 3 plus 5.
Okay, in that case, yeah, you're probably best for it then.
okay. So, I guess first question out of the bat is, all right, Leslie, do you prefer to be called Leslie?
Yes, please. That is my name.
All right, just wanted to make sure. So obviously we have a lot of questions. However, I think the easiest thing for us, at least, would be to just access your memory banks.
Wait,
Would
what,
you be
what,
opposed
what?
to that?
What do you mean access Leslie's memory banks? What is going on here? Somebody tell me.
Oh, Wagner, Leslie here is a synthetic, or as they prefer to be called, artificial humans.
But he doesn't look like a working Joe.
Oh no, well, working Joes are a completely different breed from artificial humans.
Yeah, I
He's a Hyperdyne model. You can tell because he looks impressive.
Oh my god, I hate you.
As the name suggests, they're supposed to look like they look like humans, but again, artificial.
I would prefer that you not jack into my system. I would consider that rather invasive. I mean, how would you feel if someone, well, like back in an old science fiction show that I've seen in the vids, just put their hand on your face and started accessing all your memories and thoughts. I mean, that's not very comfortable for me. I'm happy to answer every question you have.
Have me and Hobbs moved back to the galley by now?
You're on your way. This is going on while you guys were having your conversation.
Okay, got it.
Um, I think we need
Right.
to. Yeah, I think we need to insist. Unfortunately, to jack into you and see what is going on here, since there were humans killed on board the ship.
Well, I suppose.
I agree with that, and I don't trust the Joes as far as I can throw them.
To
What do you
answer
mean?
to answer the question about synths and right of consent, synthetic rights are a very muddy subject at this point in the Alienverse. It being that this is taking place in 2184, synthetics are not recognized as persons and therefore do not have rights as persons. However, this is where it gets muddy because we're getting, at this point in the Alienverse history, there are plenty of independent synthetics that are not owned by anybody. I shouldn't say plenty, but they do exist. You know what I'm getting at. That are not owned by anybody and actually go get jobs and try to lead something resembling of a life, but at the same time they have no actual independent rights. So it's kind of a mixed bag where that's concerned. If I remember my Alienverse history, I don't believe that independent synthetics start getting actual rights as person to like the 2250s, like 70 years out or so. So let's pop the hood and get her done.
That's terrible.
um
Oh boy.
All right, Leslie nods and says, "Well, I'm really not comfortable with this, but very well, I suppose. Do one of you have a PDAT and the proper tools you'll need?"
I do. I have an uplink tool.
Okay, so that's
Can,
step
can
one.
can we borrow that and just say, "Ah, Leslie"?
I'm assuming that I've made it back to the cargo bay by now. Is
Yeah,
that right?
that's fine. You guys
Yeah.
come strolling in.
Okay, so I don't know the conversation that just happened, but McCafferty is a Hyperdyne exec, so you know, does she have any technical knowledge on how we can do this?
My contact's only 4. I mean, in terms of, do I have any proprietary knowledge that would help us?
Let me double check 1 second there. Hold on.
Well, it's pretty high.
You do have your company key card. Which
Don't think you can to ascend.
No, it would allow you to bypass any Hyperdyne security or software security, that type of thing. But the major issue you guys have at this point is you really need a PDAT to interface with.
Well, I got the uplink tool here, so.
Well, not the uplink tool. That we need like the tablet where we can, get the readings out of.
Correct.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Can we look around the ship? Maybe there's one here.
Yep.
All right. So where are we starting our search here?
Leslie, is there a PDAT somewhere on the ship that we can obtain?
He says, well, there's mine. I think it's in my quarters. Last I saw it, I hadn't really had much need for it.
I look at the marshals. Oh, would you be so kind?
Sure. Where's which quarters is yours, Leslie?
He points at the door leading to the crew area, and he goes, it's the second door on the right.
So that's number 10, correct?
Correct.
All right, I'll head down there, and I wanted to clear these rooms anyway.
All right.
I ask. Sorry, I'm still learning the characters' names here. I'll ask Jake, right? Yeah, Jake.
Yeah.
Jake to accompany me.
Yeah, let's go check it out. I think we saw the name tag on the right door down the hall. We did see the room labeled Leslie, right?
Correct, you did. That's correct.
Okay. Yeah, let's go down.
Okay.
I think we know where his quarters are.
Yeah, that puts you there. All right. So the door isn't even locked. It opens readily just by pressing the keypad. Inside the quarters inside are destroyed, much like the captain's quarters were. Looks like there was some sort of struggle or something along those lines here. So you'd like to go inside and search the place? Is that the idea?
Yeah, I'm gonna go in and search.
All right.
I'll go ahead and search too. If he's going to make a roll, I'll help with the die.
Yep. So you can make an observation roll with a +1. Yep. Go ahead. 2 successes and a face hugger. Go ahead and roll your panic.
Will do.
Panic rolls a 4, so you're holding it together. You do succeed, and you have an observation stunt.
All right. Do I see anything?
Yeah. So searching through the room for a moment, there's no doubt in your mind there was some sort of struggle happened here, but you do find his PDAT. It was underneath a pillow that had been thrown onto the floor.
Oh, okay. So you did find the PDAT. We
did
did
find
find
the
the PDAT then, right?
Correct.
All right. Oh, as far as the observation stunt, we can't bank those, right? Or
Correct.
We can. If they say we can bank and we can't, right?
Correct.
Okay, so if I don't use it now, it just goes to waste?
Pretty much.
Okay. Yeah, there's nothing that
Okay.
I need to see, but I pick up the PDAT and see if it's in good repair.
It's working, but it is password protected. It is.
Okay, I'm gonna radio back that we got the PDAT. But as long as we're down here, I'd like to go into the captain's quarters just to take a quick look around.
Okay. All right. So that was over here to number 8. While he's doing that, what are you guys up to back in the vehicle bay?
Since Leslie is a Hyperdyne model, I'd like to, just relieve a little bit of stress by showing Leslie my beautiful Employee of the Month award for Hyperdyne that I was received previously.
All right.
God, you are awful.
Leslie looks at it and says, "That is wonderful. It seems that you have a bright career with Hyperdyne. I'm excited for you.
Thank you, Leslie.
Yeah. So you can relieve stress doing that. What about anybody else?
Well, since we're still waiting for the PDAT, I'm just gonna go ahead and just ask questions, and
Okay.
so that way we can also confirm
All right.
once we do get the PDAT.
Perfect.
So, uh, when exactly did this whole situation happen?
It was about 3 months ago. We
About 3
came
months.
through Roanoke Station about 6 months ago, and that's where we bought the Joe, because we needed some additional strength moving heavy equipment and whatnot, and we were out on survey, and we were going from system LV627 to GV 1413, and the FTL drive went out. We none of us really have the technical capacity to fix it, but that's part of what working Joes are for. And we set the Joe to repairing it, and it was during this that it went berserk, and it began attacking us.
Was there any specific event that made it go crazy? I mean, Joes are not known for instability.
No, Dr. Askew went to the engineering just to check on the Joe's progress, and we're not entirely sure what happened. It just attacked him, and it literally beat his head in, and then it began coming forward up the ship. It ran into Stroud in the galley and broke Stroud's neck.
And
Go ahead.
I was just gonna. And how did you manage to contain the the working Joe as I point over to the door?
Well, they're very strong, but they're not extraordinarily quick. And after it killed the other crew members, it came for me on the bridge, and that's where it attacked me there. I was able to get away from it. That's what caused the damage that you saw on the bridge to the systems there. And the Joes are not relatively bright. Since it was so intent on killing me, it seemed pretty easy to keep it coming after me. I ran into the cargo room, and it followed me, and then I simply just got past it and locked the door on the outside.
Is it possible to make some kind of roll to see whether they're speaking the truth?
Yeah, the good old-fashioned bullshit check. Yeah, do make an observation roll, please.
Would I also be able to do the same?
Yeah, anyone hearing the story can, honestly.
Okay.
Okay.
Oh, damn.
Yo!
Hey.
I will push.
All right, please do. Jake has a success. Jimenez has 2. Klaus ends up with a success after pushing. And Grace had 2 successes.
Yep.
Everything that he's saying seems 100% genuine. You don't have any reason to suggest he's lying.
Wait, something seems off here. I inspected a pool of what seemed like blood in the engine room, and it looks like the remains were consumed by something rather than moved. And it doesn't really seem to line up that a working Joe would macerate a body to the extent that I saw in the engine room. So what exactly happened in there?
That was Dr. Askew. The Joe literally knocked him down and beat his head until there was nothing left.
Interesting.
After I locked the Joe in the cargo room, I retrieved all of the bodies individually and put them into cryo, which was not easy. Getting them up a ladder into cryo.
Figures. Okay.
Hobbs, you're in the captain's quarters, is that correct? With Jake?
That's correct.
Okay.
I think Jake made his way back to the cargo bay.
Yeah, I'm back in the
you're
cargo
back-
bay
oh,
with
you're
everyone
back-
now.
Okay, so
Yeah.
Hobbs is there by himself.
Oh no, I'm sorry. I was I didn't realize that Hobbs had moved over there. I was intending to stick with Hobbs.
Oh, okay. All right, no problem. No, perfect.
I had my character sheet over the map and didn't realize that he was still down there.
Not a problem. Hobbs, did you make an observation roll in the captain's quarters?
Not yet.
All right, go ahead and gain a bonus die from Jake.
Yeah, finally.
Oh, wow. That's impressive. So the looking around here, you're a marshal. You've seen crime scenes before. You know, there's no question. There's definitely signs of a struggle here, which you already knew. The door to her quarters, to the captain's quarters, this is Captain Goolsby's quarters, has been, it's not just partially open, it's actually off the track, and it looks like it has been forcibly opened from the outside. Beyond that, there's not a whole lot to find here. Some personal effects. Looks like there's a picture. It looks like the captain was a woman in her early 40s, fairly fit. And then the computer terminal here is definitely a direct access to Mother.
Nice. Okay. I'd like to access Mother from here.
Make a Comtech roll.
Can I help with the roll?
Yes, you can.
Already rolled.
Yeah. Well, we'll keep it there. Then that's fine. It's definitely got a security passcode on it. You're going to need someone with more experience than you to get into Mother. Not uncommon. A lot of times captains have their own access codes.
Okay, worth a try. Nothing else in this room though of interest to me.
No.
Okay, we'll make our way back to the cargo bay so that we can jack into the synth.
Okay. Okie dokie. I'll let you guys move your characters. Mike Jones, any or just people in general, any additional questions for Leslie?
No, I think Wagner is just waiting for the PDAT so that we can figure out what happened.
Okay.
What really happened.
I guess you said you guys bought the Working Joe to be for what do you call it, for some heavy lifting. Anything in specific that you guys are trying to obtain?
No. We just they're very useful. They're much stronger than organic persons, and they're just very useful for moving. You know, some of these crates around and that type of thing. Just general heavy lifting, and they're programmed for working on machinery. So we just didn't Captain Goolsby just didn't really have anybody on board. We didn't have a ship's engineer, so it just seemed to fill multiple requirements at the same time.
Do we have any general knowledge whether Working Joe can force open the kind of doors that are on this kind of freighter?
I would say that being that you're all from Roanoke Station, I would say that you're all very familiar with Working Joes and their capabilities. You see no reason to believe that that a Joe couldn't forcibly open any door on this ship. Tomansky, when you asked that question, Leslie says we were just on our way to the next system. We, out here on the frontier, many of these systems have not been surveyed, and we were just doing our geological and mineral surveys to see what we could find on these planets.
Roger, a survey ship, not a freighter. Okay, I announced to the group that I found a PDAT in Leslie's quarters, and I also took a look at the captain's quarters. We've got a mother terminal in there, but it's locked. I hand the PDAT over to, I'm not quite sure who can access the synth with the PDAT.
Grace could, Klaus could, I could.
All right, well, internally I'm thinking I don't really like or trust Grace. The one with the highest Comtech score, I'm guessing, would be Klaus.
Looks that way.
Tomansky,
Right.
in answer to your question, Leslie says, well, that's the captain's business. I'm just a technician, but I believe her business was that when we found valuable minerals or oil or that type of thing, anything that is of value would be to market and sell that information to companies or even the UA that might decide they may want to put a colony or try to access those raw materials. I wouldn't know. I suppose it's a possibility. Most of the systems that we've gone to since I've been on board this ship have not shown any signs of visitation but business is business, as they say. Competitors are, well, surely, and he points at Grace and Klaus. Surely the two of you, more than anybody, know about business competition.
But you are an independent ship, right?
That's correct. That's correct. We don't work for anyone particular.
Did the captain or any of the crew have any enemies or rivals that might go to this kind of length, sabotaging a Joe?
Not that I'm aware of. That would be absolutely terrible.
Well, to sabotage a Joe, they would need access to it and have to upload their own programming. So somebody with good knowledge of the Joe's operating system and enough time to program or manipulate it. Not
Trust me, Seagans are crap. Joes are crap. You could get into one of these quick.
Please, Miss McCafferty, some decorum.
And then also just asking Leslie, have you guys made any contact with anybody after leaving Roanoke Station?
No, it's pretty quiet out here.
Okay, I remarked that we can probably find this out more by using the PDAT, and I hand it to Wagner.
All right.
Miss McCafferty, seeing as this is theoretically your artificial intelligence here, with your permission?
Yes, and I'll help as I can.
So make a ComTech roll with a +1 bonus.
Whew.
Down to the wire.
Yeah.
Man. Thank you for the help, Miss McCafferty.
I know these systems better than you.
So yeah, you're able to you're able to connect the PDAT through Jimenez's uplink, and it looks like a standard system directory. You've got different directories for different things. Basic OS and that type of thing. You can access the recent memory files. There's a number of folders that are blocked off that you can't seem to access.
I will go through the easy to access items first, and then anything where it looks like we need more access, I will ask Miss McCafferty if she has got the codes to get into those.
All right. There's quite a bit of there's quite a bit of files here, and it looks like it's all basic memory. Glancing through it briefly, you're not finding anything to indicate that anything Leslie said was untrue or incorrect. You find just again briefly glancing through, say the last going back say 3 months, you find precisely what he is describing in regards to the Joe seeming to have gone haywire and starting to attacking the crew. He was actually on the bridge when it came after him, and it was after he trapped it that he found everybody dead one at a time. He found he found Goolsby strangled to death in her quarters. He found Dr. Stroud, the medic, dead in the galley with a broken neck. In fact, head turned around completely 180 degrees, and Askew's now beheaded corpse. He did do as he said. He took all 3 bodies up into cryo and put them into cryo. So that's what you found 3 months ago. Go ahead, I'm sorry.
No, I'm sorry. Are we able to see anything that might give an indication why the Joe was so particularly violent to ask you?
No, that was a good question, but no, it doesn't seem to be anything that indicates that one way or the other. Leslie didn't actually witness that attack, so he from what you see in his memory banks, he just found the aftermath of it, if that makes sense.
Okay.
And we can see him locking the Joe in from the memory banks.
I'm sorry. If Leslie's telling truth, I feel my lesson. If you're asking out of game, it's safe to assume that Wagner would have that type of knowledge. Possibly Christian Clark in the Siegson store would have that type of knowledge. Sven Olafsson, he's more management than he is tech, so not sure about that. So that would I hope that answers your question, Crom. I'm sorry, somebody asked something verbally, but I was reading.
We can confirm that he locked the Joe in that room that he said he did?
Yes. There's a gap in the memory file that is corrupted. It would appear, you can't bring it up, but you definitely see where he rushed out of the cargo bay or the cargo closet basically, and locked the door on the outside.
If we find a gap in the memory file, I will confer with Ms. McCafferty, and if she agrees, we will kind of do a maybe a diagnostics check on Leslie, or do a self-diagnostics on Leslie.
Looking at Leslie while
I'm
they're
not going to stop you from doing diagnostics. I want to make sure this company property is working as effectively as we hope it does.
So you can make a contact roll. What were you saying, Jones?
just like looking at Leslie while they're jacked into him. Does Leslie look like he's in tip-top shape? Like there's like no breaks in his skin or clothing or anything like that?
No,
Suggest
his
that he might have been like beaten.
yeah, his flight suit or his jumpsuit is a little. It's like I said, it's a little worse for wear. It's got some tears in it, and where it looks like he might have snagged on something, that type of thing. But as far as he physically is concerned, he looks fine.
Okay.
Doing a contact +1.
Yes, that'd be fine.
The fun begins.
Okay, so you're holding it together. This is definitely causing you some stress because just some concern because all the software looks like it's in perfect operational order. There's no reason why there should be a corrupted file. Now, and along that vein, some of the other memory files are actually, you can tell they're actually encrypted by Leslie himself. But beyond that, everything seems to be operating perfectly.
Miss McCafferty, can you get access to these files?
My computer skills aren't what they used to be. I can probably help you get into it, though.
I'm just thinking you might have an access code or something that will
Does
open the process.
my company access card allow me access to that?
It would, but you would need to get back to your office in Roanoke.
I need the proprietary equipment that Hyperdyne keeps in my office back on the Roanoke.
Guess some mysteries will stay encrypted then for now.
That's fair. And then
Aren't you glad you brought me?
I asked Jimenez how long it'll take to get the vessel hooked up to ours so we could tow it back via FTL to Roanoke. I assume Jimenez doesn't know that information, so I'm asking GM as well.
all right.
Yeah, it's a
10 minutes.
relatively easy process.
Okay, well, it seems like the synth here is telling the truth. We need to clear the rest of the ship before we hook it up to tow. Any input from the rest of the party?
Let's get it hooked up to tow so as soon as we're done searching, we can get the hell out of Dodge.
Sounds like a plan.
I don't like this. There's too much missing information.
Yep. I'll continue to keep watching the cargo bay doors just to make sure the Joe doesn't break out or anything like that. But I am curious. Want to talk to Wagner. See if he knows how long a Joe's battery would last for, and once Leslie's unhooked, ask Leslie if there's anything inside the storage bay that the Joe could possibly use to power themselves.
There's nothing in there for him. His charging port is actually in engineering, so he though I imagine if he's just standing there, he's probably in low power mode. He would probably run for quite some time that way.
Okay. 3 months worth of time?
Potentially, if he were to just completely go into sleep, they use him with no power.
I see. Because I'm also thinking, whatever's wrong with that Joe, if we can try and figure that out, that'd be great. But that also probably means we're gonna have to go in there and actually get him, which is not so great.
Yeah, right now he seems to be secured. We can rest comfortably that it'll continue to be secured. Let's Jones, one, you and I will finish checking the rooms on this level, and then we can move to the next level.
Okay. So I'm going to move this along a little bit, if that's all right.
Yep.
Jimenez, you head off the ship to start doing what you need to do to rig for towing, right?
Yep.
All right. So just make a piloting roll on that.
Okay. Gotta be kidding me. 8.
Would you like to push the roll?
If I don't, we're not going to get anywhere, so I suppose so.
That's a true statement.
Let me guess, it's not going to work again. Called it. Okay, looks like we're doing it a third time.
Oh yeah, you can push twice, can't you?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, finally.
Oh,
Now it's really hooked up.
All right.
super glued and everything.
Yeah, no doubt. All right. So just briefly moving through the other rooms that you investigate here, the quarters of Stroud and Askew. Stroud's quarters are relatively straight and organized. There's no sign of a struggle or anything. There's a discarded jumpsuit strewn across the floor. She was the ship's medic. You're fairly certain because there's a surgical kit in her quarters, a med kit, that type of thing. But there's really not much of interest there. Dr. Askew's quarters contain huge numbers of maps. It looks like geological survey maps, basic two-dimensional maps of star systems, that type of thing, as well as notations on findings at different planets and different systems. Beyond that, there's not much there. So that really completes the main deck level. If you... Okay. All right. That's fine. So yeah, go ahead and put we'll use the med kit that was on your character sheet before. So if you didn't delete that, then you're good. If you did, just add another med kit. So who's all moving to the cryo section in the upper deck? I've got Tomansky.
Wagner will.
Wagner. Okay.
And Hobbs.
And Hobbs.
I'll come along too, just so I can get a better look at what the hell happened.
For some reason, Hobbs, there he goes. Okay, I'm sorry, was that Grace?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. Alright.
If everyone else is going, I will go as well.
Alright.
And along the way, I'll hassle Grace about if she's also a synth.
I would love to be a synth. I am not a synth to my understanding.
Well, that's good to know.
Jimenez is not here. Alright, so...
And we won't leave Leslie alone, so if everybody's going, we'll take Leslie with us.
Well, is Joan staying down in the vehicle bay with Leslie?
I am.
Okay. Alright. So that will...
What, man?
That will work. Alright, so... Tomansky, Hobbs, Robertson. Tomansky, Hobbs, Robertson, Klaus Wagner, and... Where is... Is that everybody? Who am I missing? I'm missing somebody. Maybe I'm not.
No, I think you're right.
Okay, alright, cool. Yeah. The cryo deck is up through the... is up the ladder through the galley. And this room is very plain, very metallic. There's a couple computer terminals, one of them showing that cryo is operating normally. There are 4 cryotubes here. One is open, just open and off. The other 3 are in use. They are lit up and are clearly have somebody inside them.
Look expectantly at the doctor.
Right. Check out the bodies. So, yep, there are in the 3 cryotubes. One of them has a body missing a head. It's pretty rough. Then there is a woman who is in one of the cryotubes. She has you can see that she has redness and bruising around her neck. Certainly looks like she was strangled. And then the third is the one that really causes you the most discomfort, I guess you might say, because the third person, when you look in the cryotube, it's clear that that body, that individual is laying on their stomach, like you're looking at their back and their backside and the back of their legs, but their head is turned 180 degrees, so the face is actually facing up.
It's pretty gnarly.
Yeah, so, everyone who's up there can go ahead and enjoy an extra point of stress for seeing all the carnage.
Jake's getting stressed out. That's
Doc,
nice.
Things are getting bad.
Doc, the synth was telling the truth. I could see one definitely dead. Other 2 dead.
Let's get the hell out of here.
Yep, probably a good idea.
Yeah, you certainly, Tomansky, you certainly could pull them out of cryo and do a lot more detailed analysis, but this is probably not the environment to do that in, you would imagine. All right. So, if that is going to conclude Midas, you can all. So I guess if you finally, Jimenez finally gets the ship hooked up, and you guys are going to engage FTL to head back to Roanoke. Where's everybody staying during this process? Is everybody just going back to Midas with Leslie in tow, or are some of you staying on board? I'm sorry, is everyone going back to the tug with Leslie in tow, or some of you staying on Midas, or do we have a consensus there?
I'm coming back on the tug.
I can stay on Midas with Leslie and continue to watch for the Joe.
Okay.
Jake
Is
would
the
want androids?
the game question?
Please.
The game question during tow. Is there still an airlock that's accessible?
I would say in that instance you're going to be in FTL, so I would say no. I wouldn't think it'd be safe to have an umbilicus connecting the airlocks in FTL.
Okay, so whoever stays on board here is going to be cut off until we drop out of FTL.
Would we be able to maintain radio
Sure.
through FTL?
Absolutely.
Okay.
I don't know. I'm not comfortable with having anybody staying on board. I think we're better off taking Leslie, bring her on board of the tug, and heading back home with an empty ship behind us.
All right, that's fair. What do you got?
That's a good idea.
All right.
Then yeah.
All right. Well, then that, unless anybody has anything else to add, or any interactions or discussions or talking or questions they want to do.
No, I think we're good.
Okay. Then that will conclude Act 1.
Okay.
Just a brief note about stress. It is 0.1 parsec back to Roanoke, which doesn't even take a day, but the rules of stress, you lose 1 point of stress per turn, which is 10 minutes that you're in a safe place. And being that the Joe is on the other ship and you're back on your own ship, I think that qualifies as a safe place. And it's going to take so long to get back to Roanoke, you can all pretty much drop your stress. That's fine. That is just fine. So what I'm going to do now is I am going to just drag everybody over to here. Alright. Should all see the main promenade, yeah?
Yep.
Alright,
Yes.
perfect. So let's really quickly, I'm going to run through. I've got to get Act 2. Why does my PDF keep doing that? There we go. Alright, so as you're... I'm going to start pulling, getting together everybody's Act 2 agendas. As you're nearing Roanoke Station, why can I not find Klaus Wagner? There he is. Okay. As you're getting near Roanoke Station, you're being hailed. You're still a good few minutes out from dropping of FTL, but you are being hailed. Station manager Olafson's reaching out. Tug, this is Olafson. Do you read?
I think he's talking to you, Jimenez.
Or anybody. I was afraid I'd gone silent for a minute.
Yeah, no, you're fine.
Yeah, who's on the comms?
Who from Roanoke contacted us?
Station manager Olafson.
Okay. We heard you loud and clear, Olafson.
Marshal Jones, did you have you recovered Midas?
That we have. Sadly, most of the crew they've died. We are currently coming back with their technician Leslie and a currently out of control working Joe. It's currently locked up on the Midas.
A working Joe out of control. How is that possible?
That's what we're coming back to the station to try and figure out.
All right. Let me give me 1 second on this agenda thing. It's in a different order on Roll20 than it is on my PDF, so it's causing me some difficulty. So I need to make sure I get the right person, the right agenda, because that could screw things up pretty badly. Give me just a second here. I didn't anticipate that. Okay, there we go.
Jim gains one's trace.
Yeah, it's the truth.
So, wait. Isn't it really kind of a bad idea that we're bringing back an infected working Joe from another ship to our station, which has at least 16 different working Joes? Doesn't that mean that it could make the other working Joes vulnerable to the same kind of problems this one is having?
I thought about this, but Jake really isn't sharp enough to bring it up. I mean, the idea that what's wrong with it is a virus is definitely something I figured someone on the rest of the team would bring up. I don't think Jake really would put that together, but it's definitely in my mind.
Right. I'm sure it's fine. We made it to Act 2.
I feel like that's not a good idea. You should never assume anything is fine here, especially that.
Yeah, no, it's definitely a major concern as well that Jones is also thinking about, but I'm also not tech savvy.
Yeah, maybe we should have dealt with the working Joe that was infected while we still had the chance before bringing it onto the station.
Negative. We don't know what's wrong with that working Joe. If there is something wrong with it, it'd be better to have science look at it so it can't be replicated in the future and we can defeat it.
I would say Klaus, you would definitely have knowledge where this is concerned. You know, the Joes are designed to be inexpensive, you know, for frontier worlds and colonies and that type of thing. So they don't typically have wireless connectivity. So if your concern is some sort of computer virus, it shouldn't be something that would happen wirelessly. It would have to be probably directly transmitted.
Man, they're so low tech they don't even have Wi-Fi.
No.
We have them quarantined not only in a separate room but on a separate ship.
But
We're good for now.
wouldn't the things at least be connected to the ship's computer, since the ship's computer would ordinarily dole out those kinds of tasks to them?
Well, that's an interesting question. The charging port in engineering also provides a direct link to the computer. You know, in the absence of human orders, where it might receive like maintenance orders from Mother or Apollo, that type of thing. Now, in the case of Roanoke Station, sub-level 1 has the Joe storage and maintenance area where they all go to plug in to recharge, or if they need maintenance done, they can plug in right there where they'll have direct access to Apollo, as well as like I said, be charged. All right, so everybody should have their Act 2 agenda on their character sheet. And in terms of story points, let me go through. Oh, well, before we do that really quickly, we're actually in mid-conversation with Sven Olafsson. So Sven comes back on the line and says, all right, well, come back to Roanoke and dock. Mr. Wagner, if you and one of the marshals would come up to admin when you arrive, so that I can get a more clear understanding of what's going on. Is Midas intact? Does it have damage?
No damage whatsoever.
Alright.
Just a dead crew and malfunctioning working Joe, and honestly, I don't think we should plug in the computer aspects of this ship. It might be a little bit volatile.
Sven, you can almost hear him squinting and nodding. Someone will need to explain that to me in a little more detail. Meanwhile, does Midas belong? You said the crew is dead. Does Midas belong to anybody at this point?
Technically, there isn't anybody it belongs to. There was a synthetic that we found on board, but there's no guarantee that, well, I mean, does he technically own the ship if he's the only one left on it?
Well, the synthetic was a Hyperdyne model, so actually I think by colonial law we'll find that Hyperdyne owns the ship now.
That's a bit of a stretch too, but okay, whatever. Of course, you're the Hyperdyne rep. Fuck you.
You say that, but we also have a Seegson working Joe on the ship, so...
A malfunctioning Seegson working Joe that potentially killed innocent people.
Yes,
oh, and also your Hyperdyne android, which is supposedly top of the model, has corrupted memory data very suspiciously placed in its code. I don't think that's exactly something that we should leave in your hands either.
People, we do not need to argue about this. We can consult international space law when we get on the station and see what is going on. Maybe the ship is still under a big loan and the bank will forfeit on the ship or something.
Well, let's just... Tomansky has a valid statement. You could look that up.
Next thing you know, the UPC is going to lobby a complaint for it.
But what was
Irregardless, we're working for Seegson right now. Our job is to get this wreck back to the station, and we can figure out the legal on salvage after.
The ship is specifically registered to Captain Jane Goolsby, and it has no liens against it.
Meaning it's not been loaned out, it's fully bought?
Correct.
This is a genuine derelict.
Okay, so nobody owns it then.
Well, as ranking officer here, I suppose Seegson stakes claim to the vessel as salvage rights for now.
All right. So Olafson closes off the line. You guys aren't far away from Roanoke. So to talk about Act 1 really quickly, story points. Klaus, yes. Grace, yes. There should be on your character sheet, there should be a place where you can mark story points.
Yeah, it's on the right hand side.
Yep. Mike Jones, yes. Heath Hobbs, I'm going to give it to you. You were definitely acting in the... absolutely. Jimenez, no doubt, yes. Jake, yep, you get it. And then Tomansky, yeah, I think everyone played their agendas very well. Perfect. All right. Now the question is, what time is it? It is 1:22. How's everybody set for time?
So good.
Yeah.
Yeah, Wagner is good.
I'm okay to keep going for a little bit. I'm not sure what time you had as a cutoff or what, but
I like to be. I tend to look at it as around, try to go for 4 hours, but I like to be respectful of everybody's time, and if people have things they have to do, then that is what it is. And I think last time we played till right up quarter to 3 my time, Eastern U.S. So, but that's about as far as I can go. So we can just see where it goes from here. So Jimenez pilots. Well, and that's just it. Act 2 is gonna take a minute, and it all really kind of depends on you guys. So, maybe it'd be good to call it here.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that'd probably be good. Yeah.
What's everybody's schedule like next Wednesday?
I am completely free the entirety of Wednesday next week.
All right.
I am too.
Okay.
Me too.
Yeah, I can Wednesday.
All right, so let's do that. Let's plan on Wednesday next week. Same ugly time. Well, it's ugly for Bob. It's very early for him.
Oh yeah, that's right.
But we'll do that. A quick outro. Obviously, this has been streamed live to Twitch, which I haven't even looked at the Twitch chat. I like to stay up on it, but it's kind of hard for me to keep all the pieces moving. And I will put it up on YouTube whenever I get some of it edited. Our technical difficulties at the beginning and stuff. I'm going to count on my players to not cheat, but for those of you that are watching on Twitch or YouTube after the fact, this scenario, along with all my other scenarios, is actually on my website, which I will put in the Twitch chat now. So you're welcome to go there and download them for your friends and play them with whomever you want, that type of thing. So I really appreciate you guys coming out to play. And anybody got an outro in terms of anything they want to talk about they do online, that type of thing? Putting you guys on the spot, sorry.
But as far as what else we do, like gaming wise and whatnot?
Yeah, absolutely. If you do anything else on Roll20 or on YouTube or anything along those lines.
anything
Nope.
like video wise, but I am the person who wrote Philadelphia by Night for the Storyteller's Vault. So I'm a Vampire the Masquerade author.
Oh, really? Oh, that's very
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah, that's my first RPG book. I am also working on a separate standalone project that's not Vampire the Masquerade with the team that made that and a couple additional writers.
Is that is Vampire the Masquerade? Is that Modifius?
Modifius lost their distribution deal. It's now under Renegade, but
Oh.
this is on their user content site, the Storyteller's Vault.
Gotcha. That's very cool. I used to play Vampire the Masquerade back in the day when I was, young. That was back when it was White Wolf Publishing, I think.
White Wolf. Yeah, White Wolf exists only in name now.
Yeah.
Like, they still have a title on the books, but they're a wholly owned subsidiary of Paradox Interactive.
Gotcha.
And they do their distribution through Renegade.
Gotcha. I did not know that. Speaking of Modifius and Dr. Willa Tamansky / Crom's picture, I'm a big fan of Modifius's Conan RPG, the 2D20 system. I really enjoy that. I've played that quite a bit. I have all the books and supplements. Of course, I only have time for one game these days, real life and all that. So, right.
Yeah, I run Vampire and I run this. Those are my two games for the most part.
Yeah, very nice.
Thank you.
Nice to meet you.
Likewise.
All right, cool.
All right, and Tamansky or Krom or Sharif, depending how you want to call him. If you didn't notice on Discord, he said you guys are all fantastic players, and Marty, you were a super good DM. Thanks for allowing me to join.
Thank you for the game, Marty.
Absolutely, thank you for that. I appreciate it. I'm always I'm a little more comfortable with Jim and Irvin and Bob than I was last week, and hopefully I'll settle in a bit more. I was doing a lot of stuttering last time. It's been a while since I've stepped outside of my comfort zone with my standard group of players, so I really appreciate that. Thank you very much.
Yeah, no, man, thanks
Thank
for
you.
having us.
All
Thanks
good.
for asking some of us back and whatnot.
Oh yeah. I was really glad you made it. I thought the monsters we make was a fun session, even though I had to ad-lib a few things with the loss of 2 players. But it was Rule of Robots. This is the first scenario I ever really wrote for Alien, and it seems to be well liked on the Facebook groups and whatnot. So I thought it'd be a good one to run into. All right, cool. I will see you guys next Wednesday. I'll set the Roll20 page to next Wednesday's day and time, and I really appreciate you guys coming out.
Yeah, thanks again. I always have to sit on the other side of the
Marty.
table. So,
Thanks, yeah.
All right.
Yep.
Yeah, thanks for doing this, Marty. We'll see you then.
All right. Later.
You guys.
see you guys.